3, 2, 1.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Tales from the Undertaker. My name is Michael from AskAPathfinder, and I am here with the fantastic people from Color Circuit. From the top left, we have Kendra, who will be playing Raylan, the half-elf cleric of Saren Ray. Darby, being played, of course, by our ever-lovable Justin, sits next to her. Below them, on the table of which we not speak, is John playing the character Geralt, the halfling brawler. And Zach playing the excitable Khalil.
Excitable.
Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
I am glad that some of you were on page with this. Now, the story you're about to hear is one fraught with peril and danger and may not be suitable for younger viewers. If you have young children in the audience, please turn up the volume and let them sit really close to the screen. All right, so let's get straight into this. First of all, before we get started, this is our first episode. This is the first of hopefully the very, very long series that we are going to be playing, the Pathfinder role-playing game. Woo! So without any kind of ado, we're going to go straight into it. And I'd like for each of my players to just basically give a quick, brief breakdown of who they are as an individual before we get into the characters. So let's start from the top left with Kendra.
Hey. So my character is Raylan, so no longer Kendra. And she is a half-elf cleric. Neutral good cleric, I might add. And she is all about the goddess Saren Ray. She's all about healing and goodness and also punch and evil. A little bit of punch and evil too.
Nice.
Very much a child of the woods, but is excited to kind of venture more into less wooded areas to fight for the good cause.
Nice. All right. Next up, Justin, tell us a little bit about Darby.
Darby is a tiefling alchemist who was born into a noble family, and his father didn't want to have anything to do with him, so he kind of kept him a secret as in their basement. But Darby never really kind of realized that he was never going to get his father's approval. He turned to alchemy and caused an accident. He got kicked out of the house. He realizes that the world is pretty harsh to tieflings. So he wants to either make it back to his station with his father and be redeemed there, or find his own little niche where people at least just leave him alone.
Very, very melancholic background there from Darby. All right, let's now hear from Geralt. I mean, if anyone's going to take this into a more darker place, I reckon it's going to be this.
Yeah, so Geralt was a guard in Seska, which, if you remember from our previous adventure, things did not go so well in Seska. There were many events that lots of evil that happened. Geralt, he'd been in the army for a long time as a royal guard, and he decided to he deserved a little drink, after work, during work, whatever. And he got a little drunk. Things kind of happened that weren't so great, and he was kind of forced into retirement, and he's a little bitter about it. He is really strong, so he's pretty proud of that. But he's also a halfling, so there's also that. So, relatively speaking, he's pretty strong.
Fair enough. Nice. I can't wait to see what happens with this halfling brawler drunk that you've made.
It's going to be fun.
All right. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have Khalil.
Khalil, the young, excitable half-elf magus. When Khalil was young, him and his sister were essentially orphaned and abducted. and traded from group to group and eventually sold to a group of necromancers. And then he was rescued by one of the sweepers, which would be Valentine, who rescued him, and he grew an obsession and a love for the job and like the heroism of it, trying to save people and stuff like that and do that same kind of line of work. And he's trying to put together a team to become the greatest sweeper unit of all time.
Awesome. And with that brings us now to I suppose, the prologue of the story. And I'm not going to be the one telling it. In fact, I'm going to introduce you guys to the Undertaker himself. Mm-hmm. I'm taking off my headset because I can't wear this, and I'm going to wear this, damn it.
Oh, it's full transformation mode.
Greetings and welcome. I am the Undertaker, keeper of the dead, and the teller of grisly tales. The story you are about to hear may or may not have happened, but you need to know that wherever you're watching this, and whoever you are safe from the perils that this land and these tales tell, because there is a group of fantastic adventurers with powers, skills, and cunning that protect you from the things that lurk in the darkness. Now, where to begin? Well, this story begins, as most normally do, in a small, unassuming town, this place called Seska. As of recent, a group of heroes had managed to chase off a group of rabid animals that had besieged the town, tracking them down to their source, a house ruled by a, rabid witch. It was quickly put down, and these people were immortalized as the heroes of the day. But they were not the only heroes that were around. Several individuals had other plans, intention to create their own organization, an organization called Sweepers. Now, Sweepers are characters who, let's say adventurers would walk into a bar and perhaps see a threat and disable it. A Sweeper knows that the bar is really a giant mimic and avoids going in at all. They're a little bit more cut above the cloth than, say, your average hero. And this group has decided that they wish to go down that very same path. Whether or not they succeed or succumb to the horrors of this land, that's for this story to tell. We find our adventurers gathering together after receiving a summons to the mayor's office. They gather in the courtyard and await their summons. Okay, so with the narration done, the four of you, having previously agreed to work with one another on the road towards becoming one of the world's greatest sweeping organization, you have met in the courtyard after receiving a letter. The letter is from a Mayor Tobin, and he has called for you to help him in a task. So, you're in the courtyard, and you sort of see each other as you slowly begin to gather.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Everybody doing good?
You ready to meet with the mayor?
Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy.
I suppose if we must.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's do it. Hey, look, there's the mayor.
Hey, Mr. Mayor.
And in fact, she is not incorrect. A large and portly individual seems to be strolling out of the building in front of you, and he is accompanied by two guardsmen. The guardsmen look at the group and take notice of one of you in particular, the halfling Gerald. Their faces turn from that of being rather stoic and stern to being that of, I suppose, disgruntled and more alert. As the mayor walks out, he addresses the person standing in front, who is...
Kendra's in front.
Me.
The half-elf. Greetings. You're the cleaners. Yes, no, look, the bathroom is just completely and utterly swamped. I'd bring 2 layers of gloves.
We're the sweepers?
Oh, yes! Oh,
Yeah.
my. Oh,
Easy
yes.
mistake.
No. That's okay. The gardens are over there. I've got tools and rakes and
No.
I don't think this guy really understands what we're supposed to be doing.
We're like adventurers, heroes.
Of course. Sorry.
Hi, how are you doing, sir? Khalil, Howlin, Sweepers.
Yes, a pleasure. I'm sure. He pulls out a handkerchief and sort of wipes the palm of his hand. Yes. Well, I did call summon for adventurers. Yes.
Yes, that's why
of course
we're
I did.
here.
Yes.
That's us.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I do indeed have a task for you, but it may be fraught with danger. There may be perils of unimaginable nature, but the reward will be great. I need you to check up on my nephew. I haven't heard from him in a while. He lives over in Carrion Hill, a few days from here. Normally, he's such a good boy, and he tells me about all of his exploits over there. He runs an alchemist shop, you know. Lovely child. My sister's son.
I mean, don't you have anything more like fighting like 10 feet tall
wait.
dragons?
That's not the important question. How big is the reward?
Oh, well, you see, I'm a very doting uncle, and you know, well, I don't really have any heirs of my own, so his safety is paramount to me. If you were to, you know, find out that he was okay and send me a missive, then 1,000 gold pieces would be yours.
Per
person, I'm assuming?
Per person, yes, per individual, I assume. However, should a ill fate befall him, I would still happily compensate you for 500 gold per person, simply for you know, heading out there and being able to do it. Understand this. I have a lucrative investment in my nephew, and I would see that this task be taken care of diligently.
Is there a reason you think he would not be well?
He hasn't sent me a message in over a week.
Okay, well, I mean...
Let's go check it out.
Just do it.
You just want us to go check on your nephew?
Mm-hmm.
Was the last
Absolutely.
time? I mean, where was the last place you saw him?
Carrion Hill, in his house.
He heard from a week ago.
A week ago.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Did he
and,
say
here's-
anything in the letter?
Let me see. What did I do with it? Oh, yes, here it is. He takes out and he flips out an envelope. Dearest uncle, many thanks for, you know, etc., etc., etc. I have recently made a breakthrough, a discovery which I think will change everything. We'll be in contact soon. Send my love to Mittens. All the best, Nevin.
Oh, who's Mittens?
My cat.
How is Mittens?
She is well.
Did you give...
I sent them. Oh yes, I sent a missive informing him of Mitten's wellness and as well as other things, and it was very strange. He never got back to me.
Well, we better go. We better make sure he's okay.
Yeah, he's probably
I guess
not
I'm
so
really
well.
worried about him. I think we need to go now.
Carrying
do it.
Okay.
Oh, actually, is it possible to maybe get some traveling money?
Well, here is 100 gold pieces each for traveling,
Okay.
but you'll receive the rest upon its inevitable conclusion.
And how far away did you say Carrion Hill is?
Oh well, it's 2 days by horseback.
And what
Do you
was
have-
your nephew's name?
Nevin.
Do you have 4 horses we could borrow?
Well, sadly, I do not. Horses are, well, rather scarce after the recent incident. You know, rabid animals and all that.
Right.
Yeah, that was
So,
the thing.
how many days on foot?
I say, halfling fellow, you look strangely familiar. Have we played badminton before? Is there?
Yeah, it's probably that. I'm quite the badminton connoisseur.
Of course you know him. You're the great.
Hey,
great
yes!
hero of the-
Alright, we gotta be going. We really gotta go. We should just go.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, well.
Come on, buddy.
Okay, bye.
Well,
Bye there.
goodbye. Safe travels. All right. As you leave the mayor, sort of as he goes about his befuddling daily routine with his guards, you see the one of the guards sort of, as he turns away from you, sort of spit on the ground behind you and keep accompanying the mayor. You manage to sort of accumulate you got like your little bags of gold, and you decide, okay, well, obviously first thing you need to do is prepare for the journey. Some of the things you can do, you can go to the general store in order to try and get some supplies. You can go to the stable master in order to try and acquire some, obviously horses or a cart, or perhaps even look around town or ask around town about your current destination. What would you wish to do?
I say we secure some horses.
Yeah, we need some horses.
We'll get the horses first. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Excellent. Cool. All right, you make your way over to the stable where you see a very, very small farmhand, kind of this blonde-haired, tiny, very, very kind of skinny kid who seems to be tending a large Clydesdale. He sees you coming and immediately runs inside. And emerging from the actual stable house is rather a kind of motherly-looking figure. Very voluptuous woman with a big apron and, kind of this, the little palm hat thing that some people wore back then. Yeah, she's wearing one of these. She walks up and back whenever, like ye old days. Even
more than 10 years ago.
Yeah, even in the fantasy world, it's quite an outdated style. She's got a very classic look to her. And she comes out and she speaks in a soft voice. Oh, hello, dearies. What can I do for you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and how are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. We're a group of adventurers.
We would like some horses,
Yes.
please.
Four horses.
We need 4 horses.
Oh, 4 horses! Wow. Well, I've got to ask: have you ever ridden a horse before? I mean, not to suggest, dear, but the smaller gentleman might find that our ponies are a bit more well suited for him.
Yeah, three horses, 1 pony.
All right.
Yeah.
She sort of waves at Jonathan. Jonathan, go get
I think a normal horse will be fine.
No, 3 horses, 1 pony.
No, I think 1 large horse would be fine for me. Thank you very much.
If Geralt thinks if you think you can do it.
Sir, I was in the Royal Army. I've been riding my entire life.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay, 4 horses.
4 horses.
4 horses.
All right, if you're certain, dear. Okay, 4 horses. And all of a sudden, you see the child sort of walk back and come out with 4 riding horses. One of them in particular looks kind of ornery. Like he looks big. He's got like some lash marks on his shoulders where he's been like ramming up against like the stable gates and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
It's yours.
we don't need to go this extreme.
Well, no, it's fine. I mean, like the rest are riding horses. This one is a beautiful, and she sort of strokes the back of this white spotted horse, and she says, okay, of course. And she hands it over to Raylan, and it takes an instant liking to her. She then finds this one that's sort of like it kind of looks old and is covered in fleas, and it sort of seems to sort of walk up to Darby. It sort of smiles and it seems to be missing
It's a
and very awkwardly pat the horse.
Pat?
As you do so, you see that some of like the fur sort of flakes off a bit, but and it sort of like nuzzles up against you. And meanwhile, there's another horse, which is this beautiful brown horse. It seems to like walk out with its chest puffed out, and it seems to sort of be trotting like it's got some style. And you could tell it's kind of maybe a teenager, maybe a very young kind of horse. And it sort of looks at poor Geralt and then turns its head like, and then walks past Geralt towards Khalil.
That's fine. I didn't want to ride you anyway, you stupid horse.
And then there's this black horse with like all the scars that doesn't seem to move at all. It looks old. It looks grouchy. It looks like it's fallen upon hard times. You know, for those of you in the audience watching, yes, these horses are microcosms for the lives of these individuals.
What's my horsey's name?
You can grant it whatever name you wish. These are now your horses.
This horse has gone its whole life without a name?
We called it the pretty one.
Alright.
It rolls off the tongue.
No,
we
it's
called
gonna
we
change.
called that one the one no one will want. We called that one the show pony, and we called that one Thunder.
Thunder.
I like it.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with Thunder. That sounds pretty great.
Mine will be called Horse.
Mine's gonna be called Princess.
Okay, you may add your horses' names to your sheets.
Is
Um,
there do I have an apple? I put apples in my bag.
All right, she can sell you some apples.
Can I feed,
For the horses.
Princess an apple? Just
Yes,
show her how much
she-
I appreciate her.
She kind of looks at the apple, and she sort of, as you hand it to her, she sort of waits a moment, like she's waiting for you to do something with the apple.
Oh, do I need to like peel it first?
You can peel it if you wish to.
I wash it. I think she wants me to wash it. I wash the apple.
Yeah, you sort of, you know,
Yeah.
give it a good wipe down, you polish it, you wash it, and then she takes it and she eats it, and she seems very happy.
Okay.
Okay, so the total cost of the apples and the horses themselves will come to 250 gold.
Oh.
That's total, not
Yeah.
each. Yeah. Which you guys can divvy up. Like any kind of expenses and stuff like that, we'll divvy up at the end of games rather than during. Just write down the expense and then we'll
Okay.
we'll check. We'll do that later. Okay, so you've acquired your horses. She then asks if you would like perhaps a wagon or a cart or a carriage. Nope. All good? All right, well.
You just slow us down.
I think we'll be alright.
All right, well, please enjoy your horses. And remember, if ever they get lost in the woods, they all have been trained to come back here. So be sure that if they do go missing, to stop by and see if they've popped in.
Oh, awesome. And what was your name again? Lady?
Oh, my name is Lady Genevieve.
Lady Genevieve.
Hmm.
My name is Khalil Howland. This is the Howland Agency. Just so you remember us, you know.
Oh, you're a band.
What?
Yeah, a band.
Oh, a band. I thought you said we were a band. Why would you phrase it like that?
We're a group.
Oh,
Someone
okay.
said- Yeah.
Ah, well, I'll be sure to remember it next time you're around. Have a lovely day. And she sort of
Thank you,
waves
lady.
you. Okay, so with horses in tow, what is your next course of action as you get ready to head to Carrion Hill?
Well, I mean, I already have like a tent and stuff. I don't know if I need any supplies. If you guys need to stop and get in supplies, that's fine. But I mean, I can
also
like make us water.
Fairly good at supplies.
How are you doing, Jabal? Are you
Really
ready to travel?
Specific.
Yeah, let's do it.
I have
Yeah,
no
so you
secrets.
have your trail
We
rations.
should like maybe ask
Yeah.
around.
Let's actually before we even leave town, let's find
Water.
out as much as we can about this kid.
Yeah, and about Carrion Hill.
Yeah, Carrion Hill.
Nevin.
All right, please roll me. Oh, well, depending on how you wish to do it, you can either, for example, go around just asking people, which is a diplomacy check. You can alternatively go around roughing people up, trying to get information, which would be an intimidation
I
check.
want to run up broad-eyed to the first person I see.
Me too. I'm
Okay.
with him. Arms linked.
All right.
No,
Okay.
arms linked.
the
I mean,
first-
Arms linked.
All right. The first person you see is.
That way it's harder
Jesus.
for them to get around.
All right, so
You can
so
keep time.
just so the people at home can also know, I roll percentages so that the highest roll is always going to favor the party, and I've rolled a 97. So you come across a crier. It is literally the town's version of a newspaper. Hear ye, slow news day.
Hi, how are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. My name is Khalil.
Khalil, it is nice to meet you.
Do you shout
What can I
everything?
do for you on this amazing and glorious day?
And this is Raylan. I
It's
guess I
actually
should.
kind of cloudy.
Hi. Hi, I'm Raylan.
Hello, Raylan.
And this is
How are
Dobby,
you doing,
and
lassie?
this-
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. It's just-
Oh, Jesus, Darby, have you been in some kind of terrible accident?
Yes.
Oh, well, I am terribly sorry about that. Would you like me to announce it? Hear ye, hear ye. Man suffers terrible burns all over his body. Looks like a
You're
tiefling now.
famous.
Sure.
Oh my god, if it only was that easy. Alright.
So, we're curious. Do you know very much about what's the hill called?
Carrion Hill.
Carrion Hill.
Carrion Hill! Oh, aye, I have relatives over there. Carrion Hill is a wonderful place. Its major export is cement.
It sounds like a bright, brimming place.
Oh, yes, if you go there, be sure to check the lighthouse. The lighthouse is beautiful. It's seated on the side of the river there and is always on so that it can guide people down the misty and kind of almost swampy type of river that runs alongside it.
Interesting.
Okay.
Should probably ask him about the.
Do you know
Okay.
the mayor's nephew?
Mayor Deverin's nephew. Oh well, of course. The mayor's nephew. He's a smart lad. That one. He used to grow up around here as well. Became an alchemist last I checked. He works in Carrion Hill.
What's his name?
Nevin.
Nevin.
That's right.
Nevin. Wee little Nevin, we used to call him. Oh, there goes wee Nevin. He's bubbling something, that's for sure, is what we used to say we did.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Well, I say we just go. Sounds
Yeah.
great.
Would you say Nevin's
let's
a
go
nice
check it
child?
out.
Oh, Nevin was a delightful child, full of happiness and whimsy, that one.
How old would he be now?
Have you ever been to his alchemist shop?
Oh, no, I have not traveled to Carrion Hill in quite some time, but be rest assured if I do, he'll be one of the stops I'll be making. Lovely boy, that.
How old is he?
He's 28 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
As of last June.
All right. Well, let's go.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Oh, you announced
You are
everything.
most
Everything
welcome.
right. Did you hear the rumors of that Howlin agency? They're like really cool and like #1 and stuff.
Never heard of them.
You should shout it.
Shout what? It!
Right. All right, let's go, guys.
I say, just before we leave, let's just have a celebratory drink to celebrate our first adventure.
Well, I'm not much of a drinker.
Well, you can sit there.
Do you think they have milk?
They probably have milk. We
Okay,
should do
yeah,
that.
let's do that.
Yeah, that sounds great, right?
Yeah, we can go for a nice,
Yeah.
nice
But I
warm
have my
glass of
own
milk.
brew.
Oh, yeah. What kind of brew you got there,
Okay,
buddy?
quick, very,
You
very
wouldn't like it.
Oh.
quick. This kid could be dying, maybe.
I mean,
We're alive,
maybe.
we're
He
happy,
could be.
who
He could be
knows?
totally fine. I mean, we
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, we
It's
won't-
to
What do you
celebrate our
mean
first
Nevin
adventure.
might be dying?
No,
Whoa,
just
no,
ignore
no,
him.
no,
Just ignore
no.
him. He's drunk already.
Something else.
It's fine. That's why he's not drinking.
You look very nice today, sir. Goodbye.
Okay, farewell.
Hi.
He sort of looks a little bit worried now. You've made him a bit sad.
Let's get a
Okay.
glass of warm milk.
All right, so you head to a halfway house that's just kind of on the outskirts of town. It's like a B&B. It's probably one of the only places that Geralt is allowed into without like being checked, like breathalyzed. So as you walk in, it's kind of this like almost a hotel lobby type thing with an actual bar that's there. And you see this droopy faced gnome that sort of sits there. Hello.
Hi.
What can I do for you? Checking in?
No.
No, we're just here to get a couple of drinks, buddy.
Okay. What would you have?
Do you have milk?
We've got goat's milk.
That'll do. Is it warm?
Meh. Yeah.
It's warm. It's very warm.
Oh, I love fresh goat's milk.
Do you have water?
Yes, we have water.
Is
Would you like sparkling water?
no, just water.
Put some glitter in his water. He likes.
I mean, that's shiny, I guess.
That's how we normally do sparkling water.
Well, then we're okay. And Geralt would like a beer as fast as possible.
Yeah, or 2.
Yes, I believe he's starting to shake.
An ale. I think they call it an ale.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of ales. Maybe like 2 and then 1 to go.
Okay. And for you, sir?
I'm fine.
Okay.
It's
You sound like someone I know.
I know.
he sort of walks off and comes back with almost like an actual like goblet of warm milk, it almost looks like mercury in a glass, 2 pints of dark ale. One with a those like little sippy lids that they have for coffee. It's like got one of those on top of the cup, and some like a little bowl of peanuts.
Who asked for the peanuts?
And who asked for the mercury water?
They're complimentary, and that's the sparkling water.
Oh, it is very sparkly, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. We like to make sure that our clients feel comfortable.
Okay, Geralt.
Yeah, like don't rush me, but So Geralt starts drinking.
Are there other people in the bar? It's happening.
You look around. There is about Kia. There is one other person at the bar. It appears to be a Samsaran. Where's a? It's sorry. It's sorry. My bad. A Samsaran is a fair-skinned humanoid creature that this one in particular has a wispy blue beard, glasses, a bowler hat, and seems to be reading a newspaper. The Samsarans themselves as a race are a reincarnated race. So every time they die, they kind of are reborn and have memories of their previous existence. They're kind of very jaded individuals, but yes, that's the only other person here. And he seems to be kind of checking out because you can see he's got like a bag next to him, like an adventurer's kind of bag.
And you said that his beard is blue?
Yes, like wispy and blue.
Can I shout at him with my diplomacy? I like your beard.
Okay. John, for the purposes of this, will you possibly take on the role of your former character?
Hold on.
Oh.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
I like your beard.
How about you fuck off and die?
What?
Jesus Christ.
I have a +11 diplomacy. I like
How about
your
you
beard.
fuck off your diplomacy and go to hell,
But-
you dumb ass bitch.
Who hurt you?
Oh my god. So many people.
At this point, the Samsaran gets up, completely and utterly offended at the fact that you've complimented his beard, and seems to storm out. At this point, you kind of recollect someone sharing a story about some sort of giant, colossal douchebag.
You were good at talking to people.
That was most.
What was that guy's deal? What a weirdo.
I just told him he had a nice beard.
Oh. Well.
He was just a colossal.
I mean, I would have appreciated
That's
if you
about
had
the
complimented
reaction
my
I
beard.
expect from people.
Yeah. I mean,
Is it
that's really. That's just
All right.
absurd.
Maybe he should
Okay.
drink more.
The bartender sort of looks at Raylan and sort of says, I'm sorry about that. He was quite distraught. One of his friends had recently been in an accident.
Oh,
And he sort of says, here's a coupon for one free stay for you and your friends.
Oh,
Thank you.
I think we appreciate that, but we should probably get going,
Yeah, let's
don't
go.
you think?
Are you done? Or
I'm
have you
ready.
finished your beers?
Oh.
You finished one of them. You sort of sit there and you finish consuming your milk and your water and your if some of you have the peanuts, you finish them, you polish them off too. And then you begin to set out on the road towards Carrion Hill. Now the day is quite muggy, so it's very, very hot, but as per the norm in Ustalav, it is dark and cloudy with the skies that are almost covered with this thick blanket of angry-looking clouds. As you continue onwards, the afternoon sort of rolls in, and up ahead you can see what appears to be a broken-down wagon.
Oh.
we should help them.
Are there people?
You look around, you see that there are, in fact, a couple of Varisians. Varisians, for the folks at home, are kind of like gypsy-like folk from the land of Varisia. They are a colorful people with a very rich and deep culture. They are performers, acrobats, entertainers, fortune tellers, and a whole bunch of other things. Very identifiable by the incredibly colorful garbs that they seem to be wearing, including a multifaceted scarf that is around what appears to be this very voluptuous woman's neck.
Hi, hello. Is everything okay over here?
Hello. Please to being helping us. My family. We lose our family pet. We need it, and it's run off into the woods. We get into terrible carriage accident. My daughter, she also went to look for pet. Please, if you can help.
What's broken on the car?
You look at the car. The axle appears to have been kind of damaged, so it's bent out of place.
Yeah.
They've kind of tilted it up on a couple of rocks and have basically been using tools to try and straighten out the axle.
Okay. Pet? Question mark?
Yes. His name is Fluffles. You call out Fluffles, the pet will come.
Fluffles.
Wait, what kind?
I'm sorry,
Dog?
but are we really going to take on another job before we finish our first one?
Well, I mean, these people are clearly in trouble. We
They
should
need
definitely help them.
They need help.
Fine.
So Droltz would like to try and help them fix the wheel on their carts.
Okay, so let's go through this. Geralt, please make me a craft check. Raylan, please make me a diplomacy check. And the other two can assist in either one of these activities with a check of their own.
Oh, craft
I get to
check.
choose whatever check I want?
I'll do.
Well, if you want to help the craft check, you need to make a craft roll. If you want to help the diplomacy,
You should definitely help with the craft roll.
Yeah, help with the craft.
I have
roll.
more diplomacy than craft.
I got a 28.
That's...
I am not helpful.
We get one roll. Ready? I rolled a nat 20.
Sweet. I rolled a 9.
Okay, well, you're going to hate this, but because you are assisting and not actually crafting yourself, your natural 20 gives him a +2, which means your overall score for crafting at the moment is an 11. Darby, what are you assisting? Are you assisting either of them?
I was assisting with diplomacy, and I rolled a 1.
What did you have other than the one?
For diplomacy, I get no bonuses.
Oh.
Do you get negative?
No negatives, but no bonuses.
Okay, so with a 1, you basically Raylan very eloquently asks them what type of animal that they're looking for, and Darby sort of leans over, eyeballs like bug-eyed and like staring at these people, and he goes, yeah. And the Varisians kind of look at each other like, the hell? Anyway, in regards to the cart is fixable. It'll take you about 10 minutes to fix it up.
Oh.
The couple kind of look at each other and kind of, sort of look at you and they say, listen, the animal that we have is not really animal. It is Vlok Nahirgan. It's, Vlok Nahirgan. It's, what is...
A monster?
No.
Oh, it's a spider.
Yeah. Spider.
Yes, like he says, spider.
Spider. It's about size of dog.
Oh God. Oh.
But he's lovely. It's perfectly
find it.
safe.
Your
Okay.
spider and your daughter both went missing in the forest? How long ago was this?
Well, his spider is go out, but pet belongs to daughter. Daughter went to find spider. Daughter had not come back.
How long
We
have they been
worried,
gone?
but don't want to leave cart because, well, people
Right.
don't like
Can I-
regions, and
Can I sense motive?
you can. But you don't roll that. I
Okay. Okay.
do. I have your stats
That
here.
sucks because I rolled a 19.
I didn't. However, you did get enough to know that this couple actually do seem quite friendly. You kind of look around the wagon and stuff, so there's no kind of fakeness to it. Like, they definitely have crashed. You can actually also see, through kind of the top that seems to be over the wagon, there is quite a large cage, which, could easily house the creature that they're saying. And if it were a trap, they probably wouldn't tell you that a spider was involved and more just kind of let you go wandering into it.
All right. Well, let's go get
Let's
this spider.
go find it.
Right.
I do have.
All right.
I have survival training, so I can.
Wait, no, you're helping me.
I can't, but I'll start dancing.
Singing this in.
Weren't we
well,
supposed to change
do we
this to
have a
something
bard?
like the Wilhelm scream or something? I
Yeah,
feel like
I
that
think
was it.
so.
All right. So thank you, our avid watcher, for subscribing. It's very nice to have you with us. These guys are currently trying to locate a giant spider in the middle of the forest for some gypsies.
I can.
Well,
Because-
me and
Well, Droll,
Khalil was helping me fix the wheel, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think we should.
Yeah.
Let's fix
I
the
have
wheel when we
survival
come back.
training, so I can track them.
Let's find this girl. Maybe she's in trouble.
All right, and then we'll fix
And we'll
the
fix
wheel.
the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's not split the party. Quite yet.
Oh yeah, that's another show. Okay, so with your perception checks, Darby and Geralt, you very quickly find the tracks not of the spider but of the daughter.
But not
You
the
can try to
spider.
follow-
There's no spider tracks.
You can't seem to find them.
Okay.
I mean, you could take longer and look harder, but for the time being, you can only really see the daughter's footprints.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
let's
more
follow
worried
that.
about the girl than the spider.
Yeah. Let's
find her.
follow that. Yeah.
Okay, please make me survival checks.
Ooh.
Now, you can choose to have one person do this and then everyone assist, or you can all do your own individual
Let's
rolls.
all assist him.
Yeah.
Assist. Wait, who has?
I have survival.
Who is? Okay.
Yeah. So let's assist him because I don't. Ooh, nice.
Another.
Another
15.
natural 20.
I rolled another 20.
Everybody
You
got
rolled
a
20.
bonus.
I got a 15.
Yeah, lowest is a 15. So what I get, like, plus.
All right, so if the
Stuff.
lowest is a 15, you get a +6 to your check.
Nice.
Nice.
So with my bonuses, that is 26.
Okay, yeah, with a 26, you solidly managed to track and follow these into the woods. You realize you get to kind of a point where you can't bring the horses any further, but it's very
Princess.
easy to find a place to kind of tie them off if you wish to.
Okay.
Thunder, stay here, man.
Princess, if a spider tries to eat you, you whinny, okay? You whinny for me, and I'll be right back.
I've named my horse Khalil too.
See, I thought you were going to go with something like Valfan 9000 or something.
Well, that's his last name.
Khalil.
Okay, right.
Valfan.
Okay. Yeah, you basically, you put them off. Thunder doesn't seem to like being tied off and sort of jerks his head as you try to sort of tie it around a branch, and the branch snaps. He kind of looks at you and spits on the ground.
No, that's fair. I just kind of like
do the same thing.
I just kind of tie him to the stump of the tree if I can tie it around that.
Yeah, you managed to do so. And sort of looks at you angrily, like, bro, I will crush you. Okay. So, we have a little change, I think. I think we just got, like, new names. So, yay!
Yeah.
Thank you, our editor. So that's really cool. Okay, so you go further in, following the tracks of the small child. As you do so, the area around you starts to become very loamy and kind of wet as the soil sort of sinks under your feet. You continue to move forward, and you could see up ahead a small clearing filled with like mushrooms that surround like this kind of fungal glade. Hanging from a tree upside down appears to be a cocoon of some variety.
What is there is this like a nature check?
Yeah.
You may do a nature check.
Can we do a perception check?
I got
See what's
nature.
kind of going on.
That has already been rolled.
Yes.
That will tell you when you see something. Haha, secret perception check.
How far up is it?
Dang, I really didn't see anything. I
Can
have
I
a plus
touch
5
it?
modifier to my
Oh,
perception.
really? I want to touch it. I'm worried that she's in it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the girl's
okay.
in it.
That's her pet.
We gotta
the,
help whoever's in there.
Okay, first of all, the cocoon's not moving. Second,
Oh.
the only thing you've perceived is the cocoon. With the nature check, what do we get? Keeping in mind you can only roll knowledge if you have a rank in it.
Yeah.
I do not.
I do. I have knowledge nature.
Oh, that's pretty good.
18.
With an 18, you learn that the web obviously belongs to a spider, but you get the added additional information that it is very, very much a trapdoor spider's web.
What is
This
that?
comes from a very particular type of spider.
Ooh.
Don't you mean spider?
Spider.
Should we be concerned or worried or?
Do I know if it's very dangerous?
Oh,
I don't
okay,
know.
Well, okay, all right. Well, I do apologize. I'm gonna get over this kind of assumed knowledge thing. Okay, so a large trapdoor spider is a massive spider that has the ability to create small burrows in the ground. They then take fungus, leaves, branches, and things like that, and create literally a trapdoor over a pit. And what happens is when people get too close to said pit, the trapdoor lifts, spider reaches out, grabs hold of whatever's nearby, and pulls it to a dark and gloomy death.
Can I pick up like a weapon of some kind?
We need to not move.
Like a really sharp stick or something, like a branch?
Do you not have a weapon? I feel like you have a weapon.
I don't have a weapon. No, that's like my whole thing. I can just pick up whatever I want.
Right. All right, yeah. Okay, you look around and you find a particularly jagged stick. Its name is Glen. It's the Glen stick. It's kind of like a bit jaggedy.
All right.
Got a sharp end.
The pointy end. Is that
I don't
what
know,
used to
man.
stab
There's
jaggedy.
so much description someone can give a stick.
It's a very intimidating
I
stick
think it's
draw.
just jagged. I don't
It
think
came
it's
with its own
jaggedy.
name.
I'm gonna stab the spider. We're gonna stab it, guys. We're gonna kill it,
Okay.
and it's gonna die.
Only if the spider is evil, though.
The spider's
Yeah.
really evil.
Okay.
I mean, as far as we know, it's this young child's pet.
Can I,
That's a good point.
knowing this information, can I look at the ground for any kind of burrowish-ish looking things?
Yes. Now that you are searching, you can make your very own perception checks.
Oh, we can make our own perception checks.
Yeah. Basically, the only time I'll be rolling them is when you first arrive on scene, or when you are kind of surprised by something. Otherwise, you guys need to take some time to kind of search around, and you can roll perceptions then.
I got a 22.
I critted.
A 22. A critted.
I critted.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I got a 21 too.
Oh my god, I got a 20. That is ridiculous.
They both got a 20.
Double crit.
all right. All of you look simultaneously at the same one spot of ground, and you went, "Hey, hang on a second. That one fungus, that is a completely different species of fungus to anything else in this glade. That is suspicious as hell." And you
Yes.
actually can see that
Like
it
a lot of
is
fungus.
directly underneath the hanging cocoon,
Oh.
and the trap door that's there is directly underneath it. So it looks as though it's kind of a lure. So if you were to go and assist the cocoon, it would go wham.
Ooh.
Drop.
That is a smart
Go throw your stick at
spider. Ooh,
Oh.
good idea. Throw your stick.
You guys want me to
throw
go
your
fight
stick at
it?
the-
I'll fight
no,
this thing.
Yeah,
just
just
I'm gonna go
yeah.
fight
No,
it.
no,
Yeah,
no,
like
no.
why don't I just stab
Hey,
it?
hey, hi.
And then it'll just die.
Throw,
And
your,
because I'll stab it.
throw your stick at the cocoon.
Yes. Lure it out first.
That
Maybe
sounds like a
that's
really
better.
bad idea.
Throw your stick at the cocoon.
What if there's someone inside and I kill him?
That's fine.
All right, can I drink my to-go drink before I do this?
Absolutely. Ripping off the sippy cup lid, you just knock back the last ale that you had.
All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw my javelin spear
Was it Glenn?
Okay.
at the cocoon,
All right.
but I'm gonna try and like cut it down. I'm not trying to like
Pierce it?
pierce it. I'm trying to like cut it down.
This will be.
Okay. All right, let's do this. Make an attack roll using your d20 plus your base attack bonus plus your dexterity modifier.
Plus attack bonus plus dexterity modifier. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where the heck is my base attack? Oh, there it is. 12. 14.
All right, with a 14, and as you throw the stick spirals and it goes thwack straight into the web. It is now stuck in the web.
Oh.
Can I grab another stick?
Throw harder.
You can. You look around, you find another stick. You sort of
Ooh, or maybe a rock. A really sharp rock.
you look around, you find a rock. You pick up the rock. It's pretty hefty.
Throw it hard this time.
I'm gonna throw it harder than I threw it last time, guys. I really,
All right,
you know,
use
I'm getting warmed up.
Yeah,
Just gotta
stretch it out.
Warm up.
Do you want me to rub your back a little?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta get pumped up.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm almost done.
Okay. You get ready to throw your rock at the small child-shaped cocoon.
Do you have to wait?
But I'm trying to knock it down, guys.
Oh, I forgot.
Everyone's aware of this, right? That I'm trying to knock down the web. I'm not trying to kill the child-shaped cocoon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's aware of this, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Make your attack.
12.
Okay. With a 12, you manage to hit, and the damage that the rock does manages to loose the cocoon. The cocoon falls from the tree and lands with a soft thud on the ground shortly below. And as soon as that happens, this huge mound of moss lifts up, and these tendrils reach out, grab the cocoon, and pull it into the ground. All right. Step 1, everyone please roll me a will save for sanity damage.
Oh, no.
Okay, I forgot.
Tendrils, huh? Interesting.
Okay.
Well, not tendrils like tentacles, like, you know, the whatever you want to call them, the little leg type thingies.
Okay. You said it was.
I don't know what they're called. I just know the sound I make when I see them. It's something like. Yeah.
I got a
I hate
10.
I got a 16.
10, 16, 7. Zach, what do we got?
16.
Okay. Well, that only means that
I'm batshit crazy now.
No.
Yeah, what about me?
Raylan
Yeah.
and Geralt, both of you take 1 point of sanity damage.
So that means you go crazy.
Yeah, so now I'm insane.
I wasn't.
How
much sanity?
Well, no, that's fine. No, that's fine. At the moment, because Raylan is actually quite wise and intelligent and charismatic, she suffers no ill effects as of yet. You've just simply taken a bit of sanity damage. Geralt, however, being the very non-intelligent, non-wise, and non-charismatic, immediately must make a saving throw to resist insanity. So make another will save for me if you would.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. 11?
Congratulations! You are the first person to go mad.
That didn't take long.
I feel like I need an air horn or something.
Oh, wait.
I started.
All right. You are now the proud owner of a strong phobia of spiders. Whenever in the presence of any kind of arachnid, you find yourself shaken, and will remain to do so until you have basically restored your sanity damage.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you afraid of spiders?
Yeah, I really don't like this whole spider thing. That really scared the shit out of me.
Look, we'll be okay.
I don't think we will.
It's
I
fine.
really don't think so.
It's fine. We have to find
Guys,
this girl. Where's the track?
Is there a bar nearby? I really could use a drink right
Do
now.
the
Maybe
tracks
you
for the
drink
young
it
girl
or
keep
not.
going, or do they stop here?
They stop here.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Shit. Was that the little girl?
No, it wasn't. I refuse to let it be.
that spider just ate that little girl.
No, it was
That
not
is some
that.
scary shit.
How long is there any possible
We
way
have to
that
go
I can?
down there.
Yeah.
We have to go down there.
Okay, crazy thought. You guys could spring the action.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
could
sprint
just
up
sit
and
here and-
I'm gonna sprint up to that hole and try
Let's
to
do it.
grab the. Is the girl already dragged? Not the girl. Is the cocoon dragged in already? Like into the hole?
Yeah, the cocoon's gone. The cocoon.
How deep
All right,
is
so
the
roll.
hole?
Okay. Well,
Let's go there.
you'll find out when you approach it. Okay, so
Yeah.
roll initiative. Now, for those of you playing at home, initiative is the turn order that these guys take when they obviously want to get into combat. So, what I will hear from you guys is your initiative order.
Bullshit.
11.
11.
Let's see. I got a modifier too. So.
21.
I got
21.
18.
You just add your dexterity bonus, right?
Yeah. Unless you have other
18.
stuff that
7.
affects it.
Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Okay. I always sneeze when players are about to die.
Oh, what?
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 You said something?
I'm
Okay.
allergic to characters dying.
I have a phobia of
Okay,
being dead.
so Darby, you're up first. So, about somewhere between 10 and 15 feet in front of you is the start of the big trap hole that you saw.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely not going in first.
All right, you can most certainly delay your action until somebody else takes a turn.
Sure, Darby will ready his crossbow for whenever he sees the spider.
Excellent. So Darby pulls back on his crossbow, puts a bolt in, and cocks it, ready to shoot something that aggressors on the group. We then go to Geralt.
I want nothing to do with this spider.
All right,
Can
so
I,
just so that you-
can I pick up a rock and like throw it towards like the trap
Oh,
door spider trap?
Oh yeah, very easily. You throw it, it sort of like thuds to the ground. It sort of rolls onto the trapdoor. There seems to be no kind of movement from that. But just so the folks at home are also aware, being shaken incurs a -2 penalty to basically all your D20 rolls, and that's the effects of being shaken.
So is this a permanent phobia of his now?
Until he restores his sanity. Yeah.
Very,
I feel not. I feel like we need to get this. We need to get the stream going. Oh, is there still? I can't actually hear it, so I mean, like, you gotta tell me when it's done. Otherwise, I'm doing this when you guys have stopped.
Okay, we're good. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, is it
so-
a permanent effect? Is what I was asking.
Yes. Until he removes the sanity damage,
Okay.
it is a permanent feature of his character.
-2 to basically everything.
Everything.
Now, in order to restore sanity, which I'll tell you
Is
now
it,
anyway,
wait, is
because
it to everything, or is it only to against spiders?
anything involving a D20 roll.
So
if
you
you
have
were,
a
if you
negative
were
20 until then, but you also are only for
Yes,
spiders. -2. Yeah.
that's only if you are that's only if you are aware of or in the presence of an arachnid of some
Oh,
variety.
okay.
Okay. It's not as bad as I thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not just forever. You're not just like, oh my god. Yeah, it's just
I'm like, oh, these spiders really scared me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's go.
but to restore sanity, any kind of sanity damage basically involves you just pretty much having a day off. Like, that's literally it. You go and you chill out, and you will restore some sanity. You restore, like, 1 damage per, I think, week of rest that you do.
Ooh.
So you need to go on, like, a little staycation type thing. Alternatively, you can go see a therapist. Someone with a high charisma, for example, can actually act as a therapist and listen to all your bullshit. And that will heal you a number of sanity damage equal to their charisma modifier
Really?
instead of 1.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right, so fun facts aside, we now go to, I believe it was Geralt who threw a rock. You don't wish to move or do anything else?
I'll move towards the spider den.
Oh.
I'm pretty freaked
All right.
out, but I
right, you
have
sort
to,
of-
I feel compelled to help this little girl.
All right, you sort of muster up your courage, and Geralt slowly begins to edge towards the big round trap door that's there, knowing full well that the hairy tendrils of death loom just below the surface.
Oh god.
Tense, right? Darby, by the way, please feel free to interject whenever you wish to bring your character in, because you're still kind of waiting on your action. But in the meantime, oh, yep.
I'll move behind someone. I'm just not going in first.
All right, you've moved behind Geralt. As Geralt steps forward, super cautious-like, the trapdoor flings open and out launches this huge spider. Well, I say huge. I mean, okay, relatively speaking, it's about as big as a Saint Bernard.
Okay.
So this is probably the spider.
Fluffles.
It also has a collar that says Fluffles. It also has two very large sort of spikes, and it seems to sort of be waving its feet at you.
Does anybody have a little animal?
Mm-mm.
No.
Shit.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure I do not. No.
All right, so it rears up as the legs sort of lash out at you. It doesn't attack you; it just sort of lashes. We then go to Raylan.
Well, I'm gonna try to handle animal it to calm it down.
Okay, do you have ranks in handle animal?
No,
Then you cannot.
it doesn't have a
Handle animal.
star.
It does. I feel like it should.
It doesn't.
It
Doesn't
doesn't have
on
a,
my character sheet.
It doesn't.
But
Uh-oh.
you are God. So
No. I will cow down. Let me just check this. Verification activate.
Beep, 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 beep. Verified.
Processing.
Handle animal does not need to be a trained skill.
There you go. You heard it.
What? Yeah, fine. God, I guess.
Alright,
Yeah, all right. Go on. Have you go.
thanks. 8.
Verify.
Well, that's not enough.
Good job, Roland. You tried. You tried. Roland.
You sort of walk up to it, and Raylan sort of stands up and puts her hands up, and she goes, shh, shh, and the creature goes.
I just imagine she's trying to like connect with it, but it's still a spider. So it's
Yeah,
like...
yeah, it very much is. All right, that brings us back to the top of initiative, which brings us to sorry, no, we're at the bottom. Khalil.
My turn.
I didn't forget you.
Don't
I got you
forget
there.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Khalil.
No, he will be eaten and he will like it.
Yes.
I want to walk up to the animal, walk past Geralt, and say, "What are you doing, man?"
Dude, have you
Nobody's
seen this spider?
And
This
then
thing is horrifying.
I want to try to handle animal and say, "What's his name?"
Fluffles.
Fluffles.
Fluffles. Hi, my name is Khalil Howlin. Hi, how are you doing?
Maybe tell him to sit.
Sit.
All right, make a handle animal check.
11.
Wait, you don't have any ranks in charisma? Or any modifier?
No.
You don't have a charisma
I have
modifier?
He has 11 in his
charisma.
All right, once again, Khalil sort of starts to speak, but as he does, his voice breaks. So he's like, "Hi, my name's Khalil. I'd really like you to sit down now." The spider is unmoved at this call for it to sit, and continues to wiggle its feet.
Okay.
All right, now we return to the top, which we'll go to Geralt, who is now inches away from these hairy, spiny legs that are inches from his face.
Can I try and run around it and get to the trapdoor?
It's kind of still in the trapdoor, I guess. It's still kind of, it's huge, bulbous butt is still kind of in there.
Can I try to recall what they eat? What is he trying to trap exactly?
Very easily. Flesh.
Just
Yeah.
flesh in general. But he has an attack.
Well, actually, the funny thing is that what it actually does is it cocoons things, and then it injects them with a vicious poison that liquefies their insides, and then it slurps you up like a smoothie.
Oh,
The more you
my
know.
God.
That's great. That's real great.
I would like to, I think Geralt would like to try and grab the spider and, kind of pull it out of the hole
You're
and
gonna
throw it
grapple
out.
it?
All right, so you wish to kind of pull it. What we're going to do is what's called a reposition maneuver, okay? Now, a reposition maneuver works as this. You make a combat maneuver, which is a CMB on your sheet, versus the spider's CMD. If you succeed, you can move it up to 5 foot. Now, if you beat that score of its CMD by more than 5, you can move it an extra 5 foot, and so on and so forth. Now, you only need to move it 5 foot to pull it out, so I'm going to say that that's perfectly fine. Alternatively, if you want to move with it, I'll say you can try to drag it. So that's basically you grabbing it and sort of walking backwards with
Are you
it,
grabbing
which will
the
pull,
spider?
which will be basically you also moving away from the trapdoor. So reposition is if you don't want to move away from the trapdoor. Drag will be you moving with the spider.
No, I don't wanna
If this
move away from
spider's
it.
the size of a large dog, you and the spider are roughly the same size.
Mm?
Oh my God, that spider's so big next to you.
Everyone needs to shut up right now before they get stabbed in the face.
Hey!
All right. I think I'm going to drag it.
Okay.
I'm gonna drag it.
I
I have a
believe in you.
-2 to your roll too.
Yeah. Ooh. Let's
Nice.
see here. 20.
Damn.
20. All right.
That's
Yeah, with a
ridiculous.
20, you happily manage to grab hold of it and drag it. You drag it, you pull it backwards, and it is out of the trap hole. Those of you next to it, which include Darby, you can actually see into the trap hole, and there appears to be the cocoon sort of nestled in amongst some web.
Grab it! Grab it!
Can
Get him out!
Can I go grab the cocoon?
Yes, because it is your turn. Without any real problem, you reach down, you grab hold of the cocoon, and you pull it out. It kind of is a bit heavy, but you sort of grab it and you've got it. Have a web cocoon.
Try to cut it open with my sword cane.
Yes. Make a dexterity check.
Oh, don't cut
Oh,
the girl.
We don't know.
Oh, okay.
22.
This is ridiculous. We are rolling ridiculous.
We're rolling well.
You have been. You've been doing well. All right, with a 22, you managed to cut the mask, and you can kind of see the little girl, and the little girl goes, "Oh, you found me!"
Yes, I did.
Was this like a game?
Yes, you can actually see the spider stops rearing up as soon as she says something, and its rear end seems to sort of.
It's wagging its butt.
Yeah.
And she sort of seems to say, "Well, come on, let me out, and then you can go have a turn."
No, we're good.
Your father's looking for you.
Yeah, your parents are looking for you. You better get back.
Oh, but
I'm
they're
gonna
no
like a
fun. They don't
spider.
want to play with me anymore.
Let's go back.
Oh, I don't wanna.
I'll let you
Make
touch
a
my
diplomacy.
horse. Okay.
Diplomacy.
I feel like that's a euphemism, but yeah, I'm
19.
gonna. With a 19, she goes, "Ooh, pony!" and she sort of, and she is very happy to go and pet Princess.
Cool.
Do you actually let her pet Princess?
Yeah, of course.
So she hops over there and she's like, you're so pretty, and she's like, just really lavishing over Princess. Meanwhile, the spider is sort of following suit, like happily lumbering behind you. It seems to walk over to Darby's horse, and it seems to be sort of like basically feeling it, like, is it alive? And there's times where Darby's horse sort of just tilts, almost as if it is about to fall over, but then like sort of corrects itself. All right. Well, without any further ado, you manage to grab hold of the child and the spider, and you bring them back to their parents. The parents are very grateful. They say, "Oh, my beautiful daughter, I was so worried. What are you doing playing hide and seek when we are here? Yeah, we told you to entertain yourself for 10 minutes and you walk off? For shame. For shame. What would Desna say?" Yes.
Sir, maybe you should play with your daughter more. I think she just needs attention and love in her life. And I'm not telling you like how to parent or anything as somebody who isn't a parent. I mean, I have like a fur baby, like this horse is my baby, but I just think that you should be more loving.
Yeah, and where did you get the pet spider at? Because that's really cool.
Oh, we raised spider from small egg. Roll a diplomacy for me, Raylan.
Ooh, 22.
Of course, it's 22. Maybe something is right. He sort of picks up the child. Maybe we should spend more time. We've been on the road for so long.
Yes.
Well, look, I tell you what. We stay in Siska for a few months once we get there. Yeah? That way we spend time, we meet children, and maybe play with people your own age. Yeah? And she seems really happy at this, and she's like, "Yay!" And she goes up to your leg, and she gives your leg like the biggest hug, and she says, "Thank you, lady."
And this is what life is about.
Yes, it's a very heartfelt moment, but I believe we have somewhere to be.
And when
the father sort of reaches into the wagon and says, "Look, we don't have much, but thank you for repairing cart," and hands Geralt and Khalil 2 bottles of Varisian whiskey.
Ooh.
Oh, we're gonna get crunk tonight, guys.
Crunk?
Dope.
And
Crazy
to Darby, he presents you with a basket full of like cheeses, like assorted cheeses.
But like really old and moldy.
Thank you.
And Raylan gets a friendship bracelet.
Oh! Are there a lot of colors?
There are a lot of colors.
Yay.
There's tons of colors.
And when you get back to Seska, you can totally tell people that the Howlin' Agency saved your daughter and all that from a crazy monster.
Yes, and
Oh,
especially mention Geralt. that's also very important that he's part of this, and he helped save the daughter.
Yeah, no, definitely I will. I will remember these names and tell them when I get to Seska.
Yes, I'm very sure the mayor will be happy we stopped to do this.
Gotta help people.
All right, with that, they get aboard their cart and they sort of wave as you sort of begin to continue your journey, and they carry on in the opposite direction. Now, the first day goes past, obviously with a lot of time having been spent searching for the child, and obviously dealing with this. And night is beginning to fall. It is dangerous to stay in the woods. So shelter finding is definitely on the table. Who wishes to look for shelter, and where do you look? You are surrounded on either side of the roads by wilderness, the forested kind, with kind of like this. Imagine kind of like a wet kind of England kind of feel. Like this is kind of like a,
Okay. Would that be survival?
Yes, unless you have somewhere specific you'd like to look. As in, like, if you want to look for a cave, if you want to look for a burrow, if you want to look for a treehouse,
But I mean, I brought a tent and a bedroll.
I did not.
I have a bedroll.
Didn't do any of that.
Oh.
Everyone into Raylan's tent.
It's a
Yes!
It's a one person.
I don't know. It looks pretty
Everyone
big.
in.
I think
It looks pretty big. I think we could all fit
I
in.
think Princess will probably sleep in the tent tonight.
I don't think Princess needs to sleep in the tent.
Princess is used to being shielded from the wilderness.
We're fine. We can brave the cold. We'll be okay.
Yeah, I guess it'll be fine. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
All right. As you rest for the night, the howling winds create a frosty chill that ices you to the bone. Everyone except for Raylan and Princess need to make me a fortitude save.
I like that I was just like, oh, it'll be fine. I brought a tent. Let's just sleep here.
I got an 18.
Okay. All right.
I got a 7.
I got a 19.
Okay. All right. Geralt wakes up with massive bags under his eyes. Apart from like all of this stuff, you did not get a good night's rest. If you basically go 3 nights without good rest, you end up fatigued for the day. So you're kind of on your way for that. But yeah, you just basically massive bags. You've got like little like icicles forming like a gloss around your facial stubble. You sort of like
That
You're
was the worst. The horse got to
I
sleep in the
I
tent.
come out of the tent. I'm like, oh, Geralt, what happened to you?
Can I throw something at her?
Well, actually, given what you are, yes, you can. Raylan, you actually had a really lovely night because with the additional heat from the horse that was sharing the tent with you, it was actually a little bit warm, if anything.
I was sweating in there, guys.
No, seriously, can I throw something at her?
Make a random.
Just a small rock.
Did anybody
Small
bring
rock.
some
Okay.
very
deodorant?
bad, Geralt. Would
All
you
right,
like
Raylan,
a
make-
drink?
All right, Raylan, make a reflex save as he picks up like basically a glob of mud and throws it at you.
16.
16.
She manages to sort of step out of the way as you throw it.
Oh, you silly boy.
I loved his face just then. That's gonna be the meme of the day. All right. So at this point, where was I at? Yeah. Okay. So it's cool. At this point, you continue your journey along the road. As you do so, you find that the road begins to narrow and the trees become thicker. They also become more tall and looming. The skyline above you slowly begins to fade as shadows are cast across the road in front of you. As you get to about maybe 10, 11 o'clock, you come across what appears to be a massive blood stain in the center of the road. It seems to be...
There seems to be a massive blood stain in the middle of the road.
We should probably look into that.
Another detour.
It's just a puddle of blood sitting in the middle of the road, basically.
A very massive and slick puddle of blood.
Slick.
Guys, it's really slick.
Is it really wet?
Thank you, Braylon.
It's like fresh, really fresh.
Within an hour, yes.
Is it like, so it's like rocks, the ground, it's like gravel?
Yes.
Is there any like it's just red? It's normalish looking for the most part.
All right. Okay, I assume you guys are getting off the horses and investigating the blood.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Doing so, please make me a heal check and a knowledge nature check.
I got
A
knowledge.
heal check?
I'll do the heal.
I got knowledge nature.
I got a 12 heal.
28 on nature.
Okay. Identifying that the blood is in fact fresh, and it did come from a living creature. Darby, you again with your incredible acumen of such things, and no one really questions how you know this, but you instantly identify the amount of blood as horse blood.
Ooh.
What's horse blood?
Oh, but I love horses.
You kind of look around and you can see that the blood trail seems to lead slightly off the track.
It goes that way.
Let's go.
Well,
leave the horses here, right?
Oh, I'm bringing Princess with me. I don't.
Okay.
but there could be.
Does anyone-
You shouldn't bring the horses because what if this is a giant horse eating specifically monster?
But what if we leave Princess here, and she gets eaten, and I'm not here to defend her?
But what if you take her and then she gets eaten by the monster?
I'd rather be there with her.
Okay, let's go.
You can leave your stupid horses behind.
The empathy is palpable. All right, so at this point, as you begin to follow the trail. By the way, does anyone else bring their horse?
I do.
mean, just FYI.
I mean,
Yeah?
if everybody's bringing their horses.
All right. Yes, I'll bring my horse.
Horse party.
All right. Okay, cool. You begin to ride your horse through the kind of muddy, kind of sloshy kind of area. As you proceed forwards, you eventually see in a clearing ahead a very, very well, not a clearing, but like a wider area, a large tree, and slumped next to this tree is a horse with 4 broken legs that seems to have a massive gash over both of its sides. The horse is gone. The horse is dead, and it is not suffering. And it seems to have a saddle and some saddlebags on its side.
Are we in like a clearing? Is that what's going on?
It's not really a clearing per se, but it is a wider area, so like the trees are a little bit more dispersed.
Okay, and I take a second, I stop, and do I like see anything that's like out of place?
Well, there's a dead horse in front of you with 4 broken
Besides
legs. No, it seems pretty. Where's mine, Justin? Did you bring enough for everyone?
I did.
Rude.
Eat it.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
Oh. Okay. So, you. In terms of out of the ordinary, please roll me a perception check as you search around.
Everyone?
Only if you are searching.
Yeah.
I'm saying a few nice words for the dead horse.
I crit again. Jesus.
Are you serious?
Oh.
Jeez.
I
Dear
rolled an
horse.
11.
Yeah, I
We're
got
terribly sorry.
24.
You know what? I'm gonna start reversing the rolls, so the lower you get, it's like golf now. That's how we're gonna play D&D. It's just gonna be, it's gonna be like, oh, what's that? 21? Damn. Okay. You
Do our
all.
bonuses turn into negatives?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how it should work. Okay, so at this point in time, you guys don't sort of see anything, but you hear something. It's something that's sort of carried by the wind. It's kind of like this.
Guys, it sounds like somebody's eating something.
I think we need to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to
I
start.
wasn't even perceiving, and I heard that.
As you move closer, the sound starts to become apparent as you look up. And in the tree in front of you, you see this massive hulking green figure laid out over the branches, as big as a giant that seems to be kind of its arms long and covered in this matted mossy fur. Its huge, almost crocodilian jaws stretches out with blood dripping from its jaw as it seems to be holding half a dude.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And every now and then he seems to be ripping into it and pulling pieces out. And he is watching you and eating. Not too dissimilar to the way that one would literally watch traffic while they're eating on a park bench.
Kill.
He doesn't seem very scared of us.
That's evil. That is evil.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kill that. It's evil.
You can roll a knowledge local.
Knowledge
To identify what
local?
this thing is.
Has that
What?
Do we have to have knowledge local?
Yeah, you have to be trained in knowledge to
Okay.
do it. I have knowledge, nature, and arcana. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I have history. How about history? Okay.
No.
I have religion. What?
No.
So essentially, we're just going.
No.
What the hell is
What
that?
is that?
What is
Yeah, that is fundamentally what is happening here. It's a holy crap. I don't know what that is. It is terrifying and it's eating a dude.
I want to.
Seems attack.
I'm gonna hurt it.
All right, buddy.
Crossbow guy.
All right, unless someone's going to be resisting it, let's go into initiative. Dun 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 dun. I don't know. I feel like we need music at some point.
Yes, background music would be cool.
Some like epic.
It's very hard
music.
because of the delay.
Yeah.
Also, you gotta be careful.
All right, Zach, you want to go first?
I got a 3.
A 3, you say?
Khalil is waiting for his moment as the hero, apparently.
I got a 5.
All right,
Here we
give
go
me
again.
2 seconds while I pull this up.
Can I have another pretzel?
I guess I'm gonna be going first then.
I got a 12.
I got 18.
Yeah, you go first.
Unless it goes first.
Okay. So the creature you see before you looks kind of, sort of, maybe precisely like this.
Oh dang.
Oh,
Creepy.
God.
It is ugly.
I don't like it.
Yeah, we gotta kill that thing.
Or maybe a run.
I guess it's really not that much uglier than I am.
I'm gonna kill it.
Okay. So that's kind of what you see. All right. So what was the initiative scores again? Sorry. Raylan,
5.
Darby,
12.
Geralt,
18.
and Zach. Oh, sorry,
3.
Khalil. Khalil gets 3. Oh, good lord.
I feel like I'm just distracted right now as a character.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What was
Geralt,
the real quick? What was the creature called again?
You have no idea what its
don't
name
know
is.
what
You
it's
just know the
called. We
sound
just
it
see
makes
it.
when
Oh.
it eats people.
Oh.
I know what its name is, and for the people who will probably be watching this after we've recorded, I will probably share that name to them at some point in some fashion. But yes, this creature. Yes. You go first. It sort of seems to be eyeballing you.
Let me see. here.
Bearing in mind, you are still on a horse.
Okay, I'm gonna get off my horse, and I'm gonna climb up the tree to attack it.
Okay. You get off the horse, which is very easy, and you begin to make your move towards the tree. Now, the tree is 30 foot away from you at the moment, so you would need to double move to get to the tree, and you could, and you can, what's the word? Start climbing it, but not climb yet.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just move towards the tree.
All right, you move towards the tree. as you do so, it is now its turn. It sort of looks down and watches you, sort of walk towards it. And it sort of drops the half-severed humanoid person who lands. He appears to be some kind of page boy or squire or messenger or something of that. You can tell because he's got like this, sort of sling on his shoulder, and he's sort of wide-eyed and no legs. As the creature then reaches down from its very tall branch, 15 feet down, and tries to grab you.
It reaches 15 feet down?
It had very long arms.
You kind of at this point figure out, haha, my natural 20s have come. You figure out at this point why the horse most likely had 4 broken legs. All right, so it's trying to grab you.
Yes.
So your CMD I have here is 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure that's right. 16.
16?
Yeah, because I have
you add your
my size. Or is the size a positive?
No. But did you add your bonus from your dodge feat?
I did not. Oops.
That's where you get the +1.
Yeah.
All right.
Oops.
And yep, the in any case, the creature reaches down, grabs hold of you, and pulls you up into the tree. You are now face to face with this creature, engaged in a grapple. Now, there are lots of penalties involved in a grapple, which I'm just not going to start rattling off to you, but I will apply them as need be. So don't you worry about it. The only thing you need to know, and not that it's relevant, is you can only really do actions that will require one hand.
That's not going to be a problem.
Exactly. Okay. So, with the creature having lifted your ally into the sky, we then go to the next person on the list, which is Darby.
So we're 30 feet away?
Yeah. Well, you're about 35 feet away.
35. How does it take movement to get off the horse?
Yes, it does.
Like the whole move action? Or is it like part of it?
No. It's part of it, yes.
Okay. Can I get within 20 feet of the monster is my main question.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So I'll get off my horse. Darby will... his tail kind of goes into his back pocket and brings out like a red vial, and at the same time he brings out like a smoky clear vial, and he puts them together in a pouch, smashes it, and then throws it at the creature. It's a smoke bomb.
Okay.
And I'm going to use precise bombs, where I can select a number of squares equal to my intelligence modifier and not do splash damage. So I'll negate the square that my friend is on.
Geralt.
Yes, Geralt.
Okay, so make your attack action if you would, please.
Gah.
What?
What?
12
12
versus touch AC.
Ooh.
Okay, as you throw this this particular smoke bomb forward, it sails through the air, through the trees, and as it's about to collide with the troll does this. And the orb sails behind it and smashes on the ground, releasing a cloud of basically fog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The troll looks over its shoulder and starts growling at you.
Way to go.
I was ready for a brawl.
Okay. Okay, after that shot, we then go to Raylan.
Well,
I believe you said you wanted to punch it.
You know, I said that, but I didn't. I didn't mean it. So, I'm going to touch my longbow and imbue it with magical properties.
Excellent. Your bow begins to glow with magic energies as drawn from the power of your deity. It fills you with courage as you hold it in your hand.
Yeah. That's all I really have time for, right?
Yep. You can move if you wish to.
No, I'll stay right here.
Stay.
I got a range of 110.
Yeah, I think you're all right. I think you're good. Okay. All right, which brings us then to Khalil.
Khalil. So Gerald's kind of in like a battle right now. Like he's getting grappled, right?
Yep, absolutely. You can basically see one of these witch-like hands that have like gnarled fingers wrapped around him.
I'm gonna get as
He looks
close
like
as I can to the tree with the monster, and then I'm gonna cast Enlarge Person onto Gerald.
That's hilarious. But yes, you may. I believe that in
Why is everyone making fun of my size?
Well, no, it's really funny because it just means that you're a normal-sized person and doesn't actually break the grapple. But you know, that's still pretty fun. Okay, so there are plenty of bonuses that are involved with being large. You gain a +2 to your strength, -2 to your dexterity, -1 to your attack and AC. You are also now a medium-sized creature, and your fists, I believe, what damage did your fists do? 1d4?
Yeah.
They will now do 1d6 damage.
Sweet.
Okay? That is what happens to your body. Oh, and your CMD and CMB go up by 1. So if you want to break the grapple, for example. All right, so yes, you see Geralt's body begin to enlarge as the halfling becomes normal-sized.
Just a link.
That's right. I'm short. I'm just short-shaming him. Okay. We then go to Geralt. It is now your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely punch the crap out of this thing. I'm gonna unarmed strike it for sure.
Okay, make your attack, please, as you begin to strike at this this giant creature.
So wait, let's see here.
I think you have a thing that lets you attack a bunch of times.
A bunch of times, no.
Twice.
Flurry of blow.
Flurry of blows should allow you to attack twice if you wish to. It'll give you a -2 penalty on your attack, but you'll get 2 attacks.
All right, yeah, I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. Brawler's flurry.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, so my first one definitely. Let's just say I didn't hit for sure. I got about a 6. So
Your first hit, elbow goes up, whoosk, and absolutely misses.
all right. Oh, that's better. So let's see. So 10.
Don't forget you got -2.
Yeah.
Look how the horse's mouth looks like.
So let's see here. So 12. Plus, is it plus my base attack?
It's a good approximation.
Base attack
Or-
plus
It's like a
strength.
cow's face on a horse.
Okay. Which right now is plus 5. So 17, 18, 19.
19 will hit. Roll your damage, please, which is 1d6 plus your strength.
Yay.
As you, wham, manage to land a solid uppercut in that massive jaw of his.
So let's see here. So 3. I have plus 2 to my strength, right?
Yes.
Which is 3. So I do. Let's see here. So I do that plus my attack. That's my attack bonus. So I do 8 damage.
Don't forget Okay, don't forget your damage goes up by 1 because you're large.
Oh, yeah, sorry, 9 damage.
9 damage. A solid and hefty blow. You actually can see you've knocked out a few of his teeth and blood seems to kind of pool in his jaw. As he looks down at you in his hand, he sort of looks down slowly. And you watch as the cuts and wounds on his jaw, which struck him, slowly begin to stitch themselves up. And he heals.
I don't know what just happened.
I punched him and he healed.
That's my bad.
Ooh.
All right. You basically see the creature take a different stance, still while sitting in the tree.
Oh.
As he lets loose a massive, again, 15-foot long arm wind up, as he flings poor Geralt at Darby.
Oh my god, he threw Geralt?
Okay, so Darby's armor class is 16, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
And Geralt is now a medium-sized creature. Darby, you take a total of... Where's your strength? +3, so 9 points of damage.
Oh.
As you are struck by a relatively large halfling. And Geralt, you take 4 points of damage as you come careening through the trees and strike your alchemist friend.
Ooh.
At this point, the creature lets loose a terrifying roar straight across. You can kind of feel like the tree is shaking at its bellowing. All right, that's what it did.
Sorry about that, Darby.
Thanks for that.
Okay, that brings us to Darby, in fact.
Okay. So it still hasn't come out of the tree?
No. It is still in the tree. It's just now kind of in an aggressive stance up in the tree.
Okay. I'm going to down my mutagen. So I pull out like a really gross looking vial, like you can smell it from where you are, and chug it down really fast, and I could kind of like bulk up a little bit but get more lean, and my demonic features kind of accentuate. I'm choosing Dex, so
Okay.
my Dex goes up by 2.
Basically, you watch as his bones basically start to thin
morph
out and extend. He becomes a more skinny version with a long neck, long legs. His fingers elongate as well. As you watch this kind of monstrous and somewhat nauseating transformation occur.
I'm screaming too. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not pleasant.
That doesn't seem like it's very fun.
Geralt, what did you do?
Dobby, are you okay?
I'm fine.
I didn't think I hit him that hard. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know how like when you're at the
fine.
beach and you like want the swimsuit body and you like suck it in? That's what Darby does to kind of keep his normal size.
Yeah.
And then Geralt hit him and he had to go, "Ugh," and he sort of...
I had to let go of that sucking in the gut.
Yeah. Okay. So yep, that's what Darby does. We then go to Raylan.
Hi.
Hi.
What are you... you're fine. You guys are fine. I
The healer, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought you were supposed to be compassionate.
will...
What the hell?
You guys... what I'm doing is going to be compassionate.
Murder compassion.
Preventing more damage.
And a lot of what she's going to do is basically going, you guys, you're not a baby. Freaking suck it up.
But I'm worried that he's just gonna heal whatever I do to him.
That is kind of worrying.
Don't worry about it, Graylin. We'll take care of it. Just do what you're gonna do.
He's probably not going to heal all of it, though.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot my bow at him. I'm gonna shoot my bow.
All right, make your attack as you
did
pull
make it
back on your
magic.
bow. You can feel like the energies of the bow kind of beginning to glow with magical prowess as it flies loose from your bow.
Like an anime sequence.
9.
And you miss.
Well, the arrow definitely gets loosed from the bow. It flies through the air, and you hear a thud on the tree next to him. The troll kind of looks at it, then looks at you, and does this.
I go, ha, gotcha. Planned it. Quick, do something over there.
Okay.
Explosive on it.
All right. Next up is, of course, our good friend Khalil.
All right, so I want to. I'm about 50. I'm close now, right? Because I used my last trying to get as close as I could with my full movement, which is like 30 feet. So I'm like right up to the tree. Would you say?
Yep. You're right up next to the tree.
Right, cool. So I want to cast Burning Hands.
Okay. You
That's-
reach up into the air. Your hands begin to form sigils and symbols, and as it does so, now, are you going to be just casting as is? I'm going to give you a preemptive warning because you are a new player. And most players should realize that when you cast spells within the range of someone's melee attack, you provoke a free attack known as an attack of opportunity. For spellcasters, this is kind of how they get around it. They cast defensively, which involves a concentration roll, which if they succeed, they manage to cast in such a way that they don't provoke an attack. If they fail, they lose the spell and they don't cast it.
Okay, so if I don't choose to do defensively, I
It gets
just
to
get
attack
punched. Do I still get to cast the spell?
You do, but you need to make a concentration check based on the amount of damage you take, if you take damage. I mean, he could miss you and then it won't affect you at all.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna cast defensively. I'm gonna cast.
Okay, well, it sort of sees you casting and pretty much raises its hand like a fly swatter and wham! Let's see. Does a 16, I believe a 16 will hit you.
Yes.
Okay. And that is a total of 4 damage. Yes, cower in fear at the amount of damage you have sustained. Peasant.
Get wrecked.
Peasant.
Okay. What I need you to do now is make a concentration check.
Okay.
The DC of which is 14. Now, I believe you have combat casting,
I do.
so that'll give you an extra +4.
Okay.
And did you take the heroic icon ability as well, like the trait?
The trait, the is it like a feat? One of the feats?
No, the character trait.
No, I don't know. No, I did
Because
not.
there were two traits. There's the missing child one,
Oh, I took the missing child
And-
one.
and there's a second one that you get. Did you assign a second one?
No.
Okay, so then if you go with the heroic icon one, you'll get an extra +2 to that.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Okay, so you get a +6 bonus.
6 and
Make your roll.
I got. Those are the only bonuses added to that, right? Just the base roll.
You get to now. What you actually get to add is your caster level
Okay.
and your casting stat.
Caster level and casting stat, is that just my Magus level, which is 2?
Yep.
So. So that's 16.
That is plenty. You basically get whacked and swatted, but you still manage to let loose a giant gout of fire that burns up in the tree and engulfs it. It rolls a reflex save to halve the damage, but you can roll me your damage. Damn it, it rolled a natural 1.
Oh, shit. Nice. And that is 3d6 fire damage.
Dang.
That doesn't sound right.
No, that does not sound right. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I was like, that's a ton of damage.
Burning Hands is D4s, I believe. And I believe it would be 2D4.
Is it 2d4?
Maybe looking at a higher level of
Yes.
it.
I'm probably looking at it.
Yep, 2D4.
2d4. Okay, I was like 3d6 is a lot of damage.
Where'd you get 3D6 from, you lying bastard?
This thing says, man.
What
Is that D&D maybe?
Here's a Pathfinder thing.
What are you doing?
What?
He's grabbing D.
It sounds like
Well, there was
it
one
sounds
right
like
on
you're
the
trying to
top.
cast Flaming Fear.
Not the one he wanted.
Ooh, we rolled a 4 and a
One.
1.
Oh.
So 5.
All right, your flames seem to burn and be super effective
Oh.
against this particular creature. It bellows and roars in quite a lot of pain after you have engulfed it in fire.
Does the tree look
go
like
on.
it caught any damage as well?
No, they're kind of like the as you recall, it's kind of wet and muggy,
Oh,
so
okay.
the
Swampy
tree itself is actually pretty fine.
Then can
all
I
right.
use the rest of my movement?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to climb up the tree closer to.
Okay, please make me a climb check as you grab hold of the branches and begin to lift yourself off the ground towards your quarry.
5.
You grab onto a branch, it breaks. You haven't left the ground.
Cool.
You have a stick though.
I wave. I throw the stick to Geralt as a weapon.
Yes.
Okay, the stick flings across behind you towards Geralt. Actually, no, because Geralt's like 30 foot in that direction.
I just toss it back and say, "Here you go, Geralt." But I don't know where he
There's
is.
a
It just
stick.
goes like
Yeah,
5 feet
just-
behind you.
The stick lands behind you like 5 foot. All right. So at this point, we then go to the top of initiative again, where we're back to Geralt.
To me. Oh.
Oh, is it? No.
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 Is there any way for me to grab anything that's on fire?
You don't have anything that's on fire.
There's nothing on fire?
No.
You didn't bring flint and steel?
No.
You didn't bring anything.
I thought the tree that we were
Yeah.
in caught on fire, though.
No,
No.
it didn't catch on fire. It's
Oh.
No. No fire yet.
Okay. Alright. Alright. I'm going to try and break free from him.
He's not grappling you. He threw you.
He threw
Oh,
You
that's
got
right. He
me.
threw me. Yeah, God, what am I talking about? Alright.
Yeah. I mean, he could grapple you again if you'd like. You know what I mean?
I would like to get grappled, please.
That actually would be kind of beneficial because then I can just punch him again.
I feel like that should be
Grappled.
our like totally like gangster phrase. Yo, get grappled.
Get
Get
grappled.
Get grappled. Get grappled, son.
Get grappled, son.
All
right.
Grapple me, bro.
Come at me, bro. I'm going to.
Hi, blue-haired lady.
I'm going to try and throw a rock at him.
Okay.
I'm trying to wonder what my horror adventure has degenerated to. Throwing mud, throwing rocks, like, yeah, okay, cool. All right, yep, make your attack with your rock.
Yes.
I'm a soldier, damn it. I was in wars. Yeah, here's a rock.
Let's see
Are
here.
you weapon trained?
No, I'm
Improvise
not.
weapons. Every.
The world is my weapon. All right. Let's see here. So 17 plus. Let's see here. 19.
Yep, a 19 most certainly hits as the rock streams through the air and whops it on its big fat nose.
Ah. Got him.
Little
Did I say
blood.
that?
All right, roll your damage,
Very impressive.
which will be 1d3 plus your strength.
Okay. 1d3.
So if you want to roll a d3, roll a 6-sided dice. 1, 2, and 3 is as is. 4, 5, and 6 is 1, 2, and 3 respectively.
Okay. So 3. Let's see here. 8. a second. Oh yeah, I did that wrong last time. Oh wait, no, I did do that right. Sorry. So it's gonna be 6.
6. Jesus. All right. Yep.
Oh wait, no. Sorry. No, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have a +1.
So 8, 9. It's 9.
9.
Fucking
All right. Yeah, that's a pretty. All right. Its nose basically is broken at this point.
Nice.
Because that's actually
Good
quite a heavy hit. Yeah, you managed to hit it in the sweet spot, and it doesn't like this one bit. It's being thrown. Rocks are being thrown at it. It's on. Fire is. It's everything. It's a terrible day, and it begins to sort of Tarzan swing away, reaching 15 foot, and then letting its body sort of rock itself forward as it grabs the next tree, and it begins to move away. It moves out of your combat range for the time being, but will stay in initiative if you guys want to track this thing down and kill
Does
it.
it provoke attacks of opportunity?
I don't think
It sadly was in reach of you guys, but you weren't in reach of it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
makes
I
sense.
got you.
You get what I'm
Got
saying.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
other way around,
Long
but yeah.
ones.
I mean, at this point,
Did you guys see that rock though?
I want to heal I'm gonna heal my friends, so I'd be like, why don't we just calm down and let it go.
Oh.
If we let this thing go, it could kill
Actually,
somebody
sorry. I
else.
should mention one more thing.
He's right.
It is still within Raylan's range after it moves.
How far away is it?
Braylon, take a shot.
It is 90 foot away from you currently, Darby.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot.
Yep.
Shoot it.
I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna try. I only have a +3 to hit. 11.
No. You hit the same arrow on the tree you were standing in. The arrow is now broken apart. It was very skilled because I believe you rolled an 11 the same for the before as well.
It was a 9, but I would like to.
Was it not 9? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Also, it's like slightly higher.
Slightly higher.
Okay. All right. So with that, is anyone going to be chasing it? Yay or nay?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still got one more shot at it.
Okay.
Gotta get this thing, guys.
Cool. All right. So Darby, we did kind of gloss over your turn, so we'll go back to you.
So now that I'm morphed, be like, I got just the thing for you, and I pull out an alchemist fire, and I use my grenadier ability to infuse a bolt as a bonus action with the alchemist fire, and then I shoot it.
You mean a swift action?
Swift action. Yeah, sorry. Same thing.
All right. Okay. Yes, you managed to do so. So basically, you guys watch as he reaches into his pouch of many things and sort of dabbles with something, and then basically gets what looks to be like a little leather pouch and sort of jams it onto the end of a crossbow bolt, and then takes aim to fire.
Oh,
It was a good roll.
he tried.
13 this time.
13 is enough to hit it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Go mutant.
But literally just as you strike at it, the alchemy fire washes over its back. Deal your damage, please.
So it does
Now
the
you-
weapon damage of the crossbow and the alchemist fire.
That is correct.
So a d8 plus a d6.
Dang.
Wow.
Oh dear God.
So I got 3 damage total. But now this is something I'm kind of confused on, so we can go over this now. Does it still count as a splash weapon for my throw anything? Or does that not
Yes,
work?
it still counts as a splash weapon.
Okay. So
So wait, hold on. So that's 3 damage with the bolt. How much damage fire?
oh no, that was both.
That was both.
I
Okay,
got
so
a
what-
1 with the bolt,
Okay, so 2 with fire.
and then 2 with fire. But I add my,
Mhm.
I add 5 to splash weapon damage.
Okay. All right, sweet.
You guys should try throwing some rocks.
And then on its turn, it can try to put out the fire,
Oh, so it's on
Or-
fire? Like it's actually literally on fire? Or
Yeah,
is
the
it
next
just...
turn it's going to take another d6 for one
All
turn.
right, so it needs to make a reflex save. It does not, as it falls out of the sky on fire. It rolls a couple of feet because of the momentum it had, but it begins to sizzle and burn, and the smell of cooking mushrooms and fungus seem to be kind of lingering in the air.
Nice.
Dang.
Alright, well,
We gotta
got
get
this.
over.
let's go kill it.
Yeah, let's go get it.
Okay, you walk over to it. There's not much of it left by the time you walk over to it. It seems very susceptible to fire, almost as if its flesh was like paper. The flames seem to peel it back to the
Gross.
bone like
Damn.
almost
Ooh.
instantly.
Jeez.
Okay.
Well,
Can I heal my
I
friends
knew that this would be effective.
real quick?
You may absolutely do that.
I'm just gonna do a quick channel. Just to, like, everyone's within 30 feet of me.
I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
I'm gonna do 2 quick channels.
Well, don't worry so much about the channels. You guys will have plenty of time to rest up before the next.
I just wanted to channel. I didn't do any channeling.
What
and I'm
did
a
you channel?
channeling cleric.
What did you channel? What did we get?
4.
4 HP?
Oh, that's not
Okay.
bad. Oh,
But
that's
I
how
can
much
do that
took,
4
so-
more times this day, okay?
Yeah. Well, the only one who's not fully healed is Darby.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can do that 9 times a day. I can do that 9 times a day.
Jeez.
Darby can be super sad though.
I want to poke at the. Is it just ashes now?
Yeah. Well, no, it's bones.
It's
Bones
just
and
bones
ash, I
and
guess.
stuff.
Oh, it's like totally dead.
Yeah.
Cat
It
fire.
had paper
like
it had
that.
paper stick.
Is there anything like
Dang.
like pretty and relicy about it, like a colored thing or
Like
something?
you were expecting it to swallow like topazes and emeralds.
No,
This is
no,
a
no,
freaking
just like a colored
Warcraft.
kind
Get
of
the hell out of
mechanic.
here, you!
Are you a collector?
Get out of here!
I wanna
Yeah.
shave off part of its its bone or something.
A
Just a
trophy?
Little, it's a trophy.
All right, cool. You grab one of its jowly fang type things. You sort of break that off, and you take that with you.
Oh yeah, actually, can I? Is there any? How hard are its bones? Like if I were to use them as a weapon.
Take one of its elongated fingers.
It would be no different to using like a cow bone.
So you could still do it.
You could.
Yeah,
Because you can
absolutely.
literally
Yeah, take
use
one.
anything
Yeah.
as a weapon.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna point out it's gonna function basically like a D6, so
Yeah.
that is the equivalent of a regular stick.
Yeah.
But it looks
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, but it will look
But it
cool,
looks cool.
right?
Well, absolutely.
Like
cool.
how long are the arm bones? Because it's like stretch out its arms. Are they pretty long?
At
Fif-
least 15 feet.
Yeah, 15, yeah, about 15 feet. About 10 foot because like obviously the elbow joint doesn't make the full
Right.
15 feet.
Right.
So about 10 foot for the longest part of the bone,
All right, I'm
which
gonna
I'll say
break
you
it.
could use like. Oh, I was gonna say you could use it like a spear, but if you want to snap it in half, I guess that's fine.
No. All right, no, I'm gonna use it like a spear. I'm just gonna break off like
How
the end
tall
so
are
it's all
you?
sharp. That's none
Okay.
of your business.
A lady never asks a gentleman how tall he is.
Rude. My
How
God.
rude. God.
Why don't you just
Manners.
call me like a dwarf while you're at it?
Well, I wouldn't because
That's
you're
right.
hardly even that tall.
Oh.
Can I throw mud at her again?
You can throw mud at her again.
Yes.
Okay. While he looks and throws mud,
Yeah.
you guys return to the scene of carnage with the remains of the rider lying in the ground next to the horse.
So gross.
Yes.
Rider's
Please make me
definitely dead, right?
please make me will saves.
Uh-oh, we're going crazy again.
As you can quite literally watch as the saliva from the bite of this creature seems to be still kind of eating away at its guts and intestines.
You said a will save?
Will save.
15.
17.
11.
17.
God
All right, who got 11?
damn. I did.
Okay. Well, you take 2 points of sanity damage.
Oh my god. Come on.
You are now afraid of trees.
Oh god.
Okay. Let's see. Let's be creative with this because I want to be creative with. I want to be creative with the insanities. I don't want to just sort of go, oh yeah, you're crazy. All right, here we go. Okay, here's the way I'm going to do this one. Because you've been in the war for so long and because you've seen battle and blood and death and gloom and things like that, right? Your coping mechanism is amnesia. So anytime details come out about a corpse or about a body, you cannot recall for the life of you any of those details. So if you sort of get to a point where it's like, hey, do you remember that black spot on that really big dead bloated corpse? You're kind of in the vein of, what big dead bloated corpse? I don't remember a big dead bloated corpse. Oh, you're crazy. What the hell? There's no corpses. No one dies ever, guys. You know, that's kind of...
I like it.
Everyone lives forever, right?
Everyone lives forever.
Right, Raylan?
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that right?
Yeah. You'll be fine, honey. You'll be fine.
It's fine.
I guess I want to
been a
go
really
check on
bad day.
I want to go look at the kid, at least the thing that got eaten.
All right, you find on him no pants. No, you find his backpack, the sling over his shoulder.
Sling over her shoulder.
What's in it?
I guess, yeah.
Inside. Oh God!
No,
She
go ahead.
snatches it as you are
Raylan steals the
investigating.
bag from me.
Grabs hold of it. Says, "Mine! I am investigating."
Okay, you can have it, Raylan.
I don't do that. That's not her character.
That's
That's
not-
just me.
That's not me.
Kendra. I'm sorry.
All right. Inside, you find a letter that is marked with a symbol. The symbol looks familiar to Khalil. It appears to be a wyvern fighting a giant bat, and the symbol appears on like a wax seal on this envelope. The reason you recognize it is because that is the house heraldry of the House of Van Helsing.
Oh.
It has the stamp on it.
It does, but it has no person to which it's addressed.
Then I grab it and open it instantly.
You grab it off Raylan.
Yeah.
And you cut it open. And inside appears to be a coded message.
We'll decode that shit. Come on.
It's just, what language is it in?
It is in common, but the way the words are placed together, you can't really... You'd have to basically make a linguistics check to try and decipher exactly what's being said.
I have a +2.
I see Justin kind of frantically working through stuff.
Oh,
Like, yes, I can linguistics.
I actually don't have linguistics.
Yeah,
I do
but-
have intelligence, but I don't have linguistics.
But linguistics doesn't have the mark next to it, which means you don't need to have a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can use it in either way.
So I would get a +4.
Yeah. So you're still probably better than the rest of us.
I have the potion comprehend languages.
I got an 8.
That's not what we
Uh,
need.
I know.
No. An 8 will tell you that this is in a coded language.
I got a 17.
A 17 will give you bits and pieces of this letter. It basically says Carrion Hill
I knew it.
requires sewers on the eve of cinnamon rolls.
I think it's awful. I think you did it not perfect.
Something tells me.
This is just what it says.
Something
Well-
tells me that they may need cinnamon rolls.
Well, if they have cinnamon rolls, I think we should get there.
We definitely should. We've definitely gotten a little distracted from our original quest, I
Yes,
believe,
that's
with all
what
of
I've
this.
kept saying.
Well, we did some good things. We did good.
But it seems like there's a lot happening in Carrion Hills.
Yes,
guys.
you forced your...
Yes, I want the letter back, please.
Okay, well, the others can take a gander at it and try and break the code if they like.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
You're
I'm
right.
gonna keep his letter and I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
solve it.
Can we take 20?
As he knows stuff.
Because you have added an extra day to your travel, you most certainly that evening during the rest period, which you will have, can take a 20 in order to try and read it.
Yeah, next time we rest, I'd like to take a 20 to read it.
All right. What is your score if you take a 20?
20.
Well, you still can't decipher it. The rest of you might be able to help him figure it out if you all work together.
Sure.
Yay!
Teamwork makes the dream work.
All right. Well, with all of you taking 20, does anyone not help with the 20 taking 20? You can. Just saying.
I'm helping.
Damn it. Okay, fine. Fine. Everyone's helping. All right. With everyone helping, you decipher the message. And it is done that evening. So it is nighttime. You have set up the tent with the horse. Everyone's sleeping out in the cold. Geralt is not happy about this. He is lamenting his lack of tent. And you decipher the letter. The letter reads, Carrion Hill is under attack by a horde of undead. I am injured and require assistance, myself and survivors. We have hidden in the sewers beneath Town Hall. Tell Eve to bring special toasted cinnamon rolls. Love, Rosenvale. P.S. Hurry.
The cinnamon rolls were real, you guys.
They're not there, though.
Well, they do have cinnamon rolls.
I hope you know.
Rosenvale.
I hope you guys know that I can fuck up some undead.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm sure you
believe it.
can.
I can
Okay,
channel them.
so Rosenvale, for those of you, particularly for Khalil, whose form of obsession is the Helsings, particularly one in particular, would know that Rosenvale Helsing is one of the top sweepers in Ustalav at this present time. He is well known as the son of a very famous pirate that operated on the Lake Encarthen, which is the one nearby. And he eventually turned his attention to sweeping and is now considered an expert marksman and hunter of the dead and other things.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, that's what you figured out.
We have to get to that town as soon
We
as
do
possible.
have to get
Yeah,
to
we gotta get
We
there.
do.
Like,
Next.
like
You can
next
travel in the
week.
night if you wish to.
No, let's go to bed.
All right.
I
Let's share that tent of yours. How about that?
Nope, just me and Princess.
I still got a sleeping bag.
I kind of
at
see
least.
this going down a dark path and more sanity damage being taken, because I recently got reminded that Star Wars was a thing, and I was like, well, if Geralt can't find, warmth in the cold, just saying. I'll leave that one there.
Dun,
Um,
dun, 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 dun.
No, he's not going to cut open Darth Vader. What are you... Anyway, okay, no. Okay, so the night goes by. I mean, you guys decide this time to leave, a little bit of a fire out, and you try to keep as warm as you
thank
can.
God.
But, halfway through the evening, it starts to rain, and the fire gets put out, and you're kind of half flooded. Roll me fort saves, please, Geralt, Khalil, and Darby.
Oh, fort save. Oh, that might be okay.
The sound of the rain is pleasant as it beats upon the tarp. You sleep a comfortable and almost meditative rest.
Oh my god. Can I accidentally rip her tent?
I
I had to go to the bathroom and I just stumbled over it while carrying a large stick.
You
my
can
bone spear to protect myself while going to the bathroom.
what was your fort save?
Not good. 12.
All right, with a 12, that is your. That was 10.
21.
Darby, you're fine. You're used to sleeping out in the street for some reason.
I did get kicked
Alright,
out
so
of the house.
All right, so that is the second day for Geralt and the first day for Khalil. And as in the middle of the night, the tent sort of falls down onto Kaylin while she's sleeping. Oh, Raylan, sorry.
What?
Oh, she just sort of wraps it around her like an extra thick top blanket. All right. The next morning, you all awaken. The sun is not shining. It is still cloudy, murky, and desolate, like it is in Ustalav every single freaking day of the year. And of course, Darby and Raylan wake up. Hello. What the hell? Sorry. I'm getting yelled at. What is happening? Go away. Sorry about that. That was unprofessional, and I don't know where that came from.
It was great.
So good.
I'm just gonna turn that off.
It was magical.
I loved it.
It was. It was like it was the morning, and like everything was awake.
Yeah, it was
and
like
cool.
the birds.
Oh.
Okay. So where was I? Yes, you're woken up. You're woken up. Things are awake. Things are doing stuff, and you set out on the road back towards Carrion Hill.
Mhm.
As you head that way, you end up finding yourself overlooking a large hillside, which veers and kind of watches around a large town that is built into the side of a swamp. And atop one of these hills, you can kind of see this town has been built, almost as in almost layers as the town gets higher and higher to a crest, where you can see a huge mansion that is covered in flags that depict the heraldries of the different nations within Ustala, or the different provinces. Around it, you can actually see a huge river that runs through and appears to be kind of leading out towards a river that runs alongside this town. And a lighthouse penetrating a dockyard seems to be off. You realize that this, in fact, is Carrion Hill. And normally you would be greeted by the visage of a lively and bustling city with, a town, with lots of people using the dockyards and the ships and things like that for trade and commerce, but they don't seem to be. It seems to be almost unnaturally quiet. Despite this unnatural silence, there seems to be movement coming from within the town.
We're far away from the town
Uh,
now.
you are about maybe 1 mile away, or not. You're pretty close.
Okay, well then, I think we should continue on foot from here, guys.
What?
Quieter.
Oh.
We can go in on horse. That's fine with me, but there's obviously something bad going on here.
Yeah, things seem suspicious.
Wait, I want to leave Princess behind. So.
We can.
We could do it on foot, but with the horses.
Yeah.
No, that literally completely negates the entire point of leaving the horses.
We can bring horses. We'll just be quiet.
Well, Princess could be quiet. Leave your horses.
Okay, as you
We're gonna take the horses. Clearly.
as you kind of debate whether or not you should leave your horses behind, you can actually see off to the side, like just a small way to the west of the city itself, is a graveyard.
A what?
A graveyard?
Graveyard.
I know nothing of this. Sounds like some sort of weird.
You don't know
foreign
what a graveyard
word.
is?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Nope.
Let's just make our way in to town.
Yeah.
The graveyard's like one of the first places on the way in.
Well, it's not really on the way in. You'd kind of have to move a little bit aside from the town, and you'd have to go into the graveyard. But there is a path that leads through the graveyard into Carrion Hill, through there.
I don't want to go that way.
Do you want to?
Well,
No.
do we want to go through the main gates when there's obviously something wrong?
Well, I'd like to check on the villagers as soon as possible, actually, if possible.
We
Then
need to
know
get
where they are.
in the sewer, right? Under where? Underwear.
Yeah, so clearly whoever's in the city, though, is not people we want to be messing with.
Well, we don't know yet.
I mean, I'm always down to punch stuff in the face, but...
Well, I am not afraid of the undead. And if
I'm a little bit afraid of the
if you're
undead.
afraid of them, then that's when they win. You
Very
have
well.
to believe in
It's
yourself.
it's not when they eat your face off that
Geralt,
they win.
Believe in yourself.
I
Look
believe in myself.
Look at your horse. Your horse believes in himself. And you need to too.
You feel like Thunder is about to bolt just because he hates you.
Hit Thunderbolt.
You got this, Jerome. We can do this.
All
What do you
right.
think, guys? Team.
All right, I got my bone spear. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's go.
We're going straight into town then?
Yeah.
I
We're going into
guess.
town. Though we're looking for the sewer entrance, wherever we would think it would be.
Yeah, wherever the closest. Yeah. Can we like constantly be on the lookout for like a sewer entrance? Yes.
There's no real sewers out in the forest.
Oh, we want to go into town.
Yeah, I'm
Once
saying
you go-
like once
I mean-
we're in the town, like or once we're around the
Oh,
town.
yeah, you can totally do that. Okay. So in the meantime, you're going through the front entrance?
Yes.
Okay. So as you go through
Even though
the...
he very clearly wanted us to go into the graveyard.
I didn't want you to go into the graveyard. It was just the easy way. All right. So you head over to the front entrance. And at the front entrance, you can see what appears to be a large portcullis where the actual metal grates that would normally separate and seal during times of emergency have been pushed over. They've bent and broken with literally hundreds of kind of bits of scrap metal lining this entire area as you approach this like tiny bridge that leads over towards this portcullis. Scattered around, you see several people kind of looking confused, dazed, and disoriented that seem to be ambling around. As you approach closer, the smell of rot hangs in the air, and they turn to face you, and you can see that they are, in fact, the undead. They moan, groan, and reach out for you, and then behind them, you notice that not 1, not 10, not 100, but thousands of undead march through the streets around here.
Maybe we
Go back.
Maybe this was a bad
Okay.
idea.
Now, this being said, there is some information that I am to share with you. Now, number 1, welcome to Ustalav. Ustalav is not a unfamiliar place for the undead. Generally speaking, there are 2 types of undead. The undead that you need to watch out for, and the undead that are generally not too dangerous. The undead you need to watch out for are the ones that move quickly, eat flesh, and do all of that sort of stuff. The second type are what's playfully referred to as the cattle zombie. The cattle zombie have almost no threat unless found in massive numbers. One can literally walk over to them, place a hand on their chest, and push them to have them fall over.
Oh.
And that is how threatening they are. If, however, they catch you in large numbers and you can only push one person over at a time, it leaves, say, 5 or 6 of them to quickly swarm over you. And that's the point where they become dangerous.
Okay. And there are thousands of them right now, or what we...
Yeah, well, you can't... Yeah. They're basically spread out around the place. They move incredibly slowly, so you can technically walk around a fair bunch of them. The scary thing about what you're about to approach is you can't really tell the slow ones from the fast ones until they attack you.
We could try to pull like a Shaun of the Dead and pretend to be zombie. No, that's not a good idea.
What do you think, guys? What do we do?
I say we look for an alternate route.
How close are the buildings to each other?
The buildings are relatively close. I mean, basically, you've got some large, some major, like 20-foot wide roads that run through the town, and you also have the 5-foot wide alleyways that seem to be in various locations as well.
So, parkour, anyone?
Yeah, I can climb. I can climb all day. Let's do this.
I can climb as well.
So we're running to the village then?
No, we're climbing up on top of a building. Well, we have to get to the first one.
Could we possibly climb up the outside wall and then like jump from like a wall to a building?
Is that what you have perceived?
Yes.
Can we?
Spider-Man.
You can most certainly attempt to. If you do so, however, you do need to breach the city walls, which obviously involve going over the bridge and through the portcullis that is currently filled with zombies.
Yeah, I don't think we should go that way.
Let's.
I think we should. I think that I can handle them.
You think you can handle 1,000 zombies?
Oh, I don't have to handle
Well, no,
1,000. I have to handle like 30, maybe.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Do you believe in yourself, Raylan?
I do.
Do you believe in Raylan, Joel?
Well,
If you're watching this video, hashtag believe in Raylan.
Well, I believe in me, and Raylan's on my team, and so are you guys.
So let's do it.
Let's do it.
so
I take charge.
I actually just have a question about using my drunken creativity, which allows me to gain a combat feat. Can it be like any combat feat?
Yes.
Any combat feat to which you meet the prerequisite. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh. I do not have the prerequisite for that.
You're looking at Whirlwind Strike.
So we have to climb
No, I was
over
looking at Command Undead.
Oh, that's also not a combat feat.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's combat feats and regular.
Oh yeah. Oops, that's just a regular.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I go in there and just channel the fuck out of some undead?
All right. So Raylan takes the first few steps forward, walking towards the undead as they sort of start ambling towards her. Raising her symbol of Sarin Ray high into the air, the area is filled with a glowing, healing light. What do you wish to do?
Well, I'm gonna channel.
Channel to harm undead.
30. Yep.
Okay, roll your damage.
Maybe. If I get a 1, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh.
No, you don't need to roll to attack on channel. Channel's
I
just a
know.
big area.
No, I
of...
mean for damage.
Oh, right, yeah.
3.
3. Okay. About 20 of them instantly crumple. Their eyes become hollow and even more lifeless. And they collapse to the ground simultaneously like a wave.
Cool.
However, there are still... The bridge is now clear. The portcullis seems to have about another dozen that are still kind of climbing through the torn off gate. You can see some of them are even impaled on bits of it.
You guys, I just killed 20 fucking zombies and nobody here is even like batting an eye.
That was very impressive, Raylan. Good job.
Thank you.
Very
Good
good.
job.
Very
I
good.
could have like punched a few and they would have died.
I can do that 8 more times today.
Yeah.
Okay, so in front of us, there's the zombies Raylan killed, and then in front of that's like the gate, the portcullis with like zombies like pouring out, kind of.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, they're not pouring out. They're just sort of ambling around.
Meandering.
Do they
And,
react to us yet, or no?
Oh, well, the ones that you... As she approached forward with you guys, the ones that were near you kind of went... and that was about it. Whereas the ones on the fence, you know, they seem to still be ambling, and then as you get closer, some of them sort of go... and they start heading towards you.
Okay. Well, let's just keep moving forward on the way in.
Yeah. As we get closer, I'm gonna look, like, whenever we get in range, I'm gonna look for the biggest clump of them and just, like, lob a bomb at them.
Okay, cool. Yep, there's definitely a small clump there. You can make your attack if you wish to.
And now I roll.
As opposed to when you weren't rolling?
I was rolling
Just
like
telling me
5.
whatever number?
Yeah,
I
he was just
rolling-
writing down.
I was just writing down random numbers, and they were all 18s. So 20.
20. 22 to hit will definitely hit. Roll your damage, please, as this small explosion happens, and this bright red liquid seems to splash over the zombies.
The one that I hit directly takes 8 damage, and
he's
everyone
gone.
within all of them within a 5-foot radius takes 6.
Okay, they are all dead. The one in the middle has a new nickname. They call him Puddles, the zombie now. Okay, as the smell of burning, rotting flesh slowly starts to spread through the area, you can see kind of a small cloud of smoke rising from these singed corpses. You now have plenty of room to venture forth into the city, which you do so
nice.
quite happily. However, one of you, this of course being Khalil, notice that up on the wall overlooking the portcullis, something seems to be hanging on the wall, Spider-Man style. It appears to have feathers like a crow, and it almost looks like this bird-type creature with a humanoid sort of, like it's got 2 legs and 2 arms that are clinging to the side of this wall. And as it turns to face you, you can see it's like this skull with these tattoos on one side of its face. And as soon as it sees you looking up at it, in a feat of pure acrobatic adrenaline, bends its spine and lifts its body back onto the wall and seems to disappear into the shadows above the rampart.
I'm the only one who saw that, or like I can point it out?
You're the only one who saw that. It also seemed to look at you, not with the same kind of dead, glossed over eyes as the cow zombies did. It almost looked at you with a calculating intelligence, as if weighing up your abilities and powers.
Guys, there's definitely something here with us.
And with that, that is where we will draw the curtain closed on the first of our games. What terrible and horrifying things await our heroes in the city of Carrion Hill? What is this mysterious bird-like creature, and what does it have in store for our avid adventurers? Will Geralt get a good night's sleep? Find out this and more in the next episode of Tales from the Undertaker. With this, as we kind of wrap up the last kind of 5 minutes or so like that, we've obviously got the promotional stuff to do, talking about the schedules and all of that lovely, awesome, great stuff. I assume we're ready to kind of get the panel thingy working on that. Do we have a thing with color circuit stuff? Is it coming? No?
Yeah, I think
Talking
you
about
just
myself?
I heard it.
Did he? Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool, fantastic. So obviously from my end of things, my name is Michael. I run AskAPathfinder. You can find me on Facebook at Facebook.com/AskAPathfinder. You can also find me on YouTube soon, also with the same name, and Twitter and all that other jazz. So yeah, you know, if you like Pathfinder, come check us out. I also offer free coaching, and I do lots of really cool games like this as well. You guys have tons of stuff, so I'll let you guys brag and boast and talk about all your really cool things that you've got going.
Yeah, so today's Tuesday, which means tomorrow's Wednesday. That's the most upcoming thing, which will be Sketch Monkey at 7 p.m., which is our team of creative and hopefully funny writers get together and create sketches and stuff. And then after that is our love and beholded improv bagel.
I'm pointing at the schedule.
Oh, schedule's right there. Here, which is also tomorrow at 9 p.m.
You? Sweet. And basically, definitely come check them out and show your support, especially if you are the Pathfinder fans and stuff, because I will be here on the Tuesdays, at least for you guys, on the Tuesdays every week until we either get bored or people demand we get off the air. I feel like the latter is most likely, but who knows? We'll figure out what happens.
Who knows?
So thank you very much, guys. Do you guys have an awesome game? Like, let's get some cross chatter going here.
It was
I'm
awesome.
very
I liked it.
just happy that I have Princess with me, and
Aw.
I feel like her warmth at night is like what keeps me going through the day.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
That's relatable.
I'm excited for like the characters and the team to come get together. It's like a whole stuff. The development of the story.
Yeah, I'm ready for my
Figure out
character to
the-
really stand out from the rest.
Yeah. On my side of things, it was kind of interesting because obviously part 1 we played as the one shot a couple of months ago, and obviously there's a whole bunch of new characters and stuff, so it's not like you had your laurels from that adventure to go on. So I kind of added a very improv moment here with the spider and the little girl and stuff to kind of see how you guys would react. Like, do you guys just go in and kill it because it's a spider? Do you guys just ignore these people in peril? What kind of heroes are you guys going to be? And I think you guys really have stood out in your own ways, like very much so. There is a passion that's coming from Raylan towards others that aren't in her group, which is really funny.
Especially her stupid horse.
Geralt definitely seems to have a massive chip on his shoulder, which is a lot of fun. Khalil, I'd love to see more of Khalil coming through. Khalil seems to be the one who is definitely holding a lot of the optimism together. And Darby, on the other hand, Darby, I feel is this one person who is sitting there going, "How the shit did I end up here?"
Pretty much.
Like, what went so wrong in my life? Like, being thrown out on the streets was like the second worst day of my life. Meeting you people, and that was kind of, it's good. And it's a very interesting dynamic. And I think I honestly cannot wait to see how you guys face up with the challenges of Carrion Hill. As this is the first multi-segment quest, there will be a lot of stuff for you to do in Carrion Hill. And we will be playing with a whole new set of rules specifically designed for living and dealing in a zombie apocalypse, which may, and speaking of this whole thing, Geralt is going so mad.
Yes. He was warned.
I'm so screwed.
I'm going to point out, I did warn. I said, do not dump your mental stats, right? Your mental stats will depend on your sanity and stuff like that. And what does he do? He has 10, 10, and 9. That is his mental stat.
What is your 9 in?
Charisma.
Oh.
Charisma. So he's got 10, 10, and 9. And I was just
more
like,
charisma than
But do
you.
you guys remember how I freaking threw that rock at that troll's face?
Yeah,
That's
he
true.
did more damage
And
with a
broke
rock
his
than I
nose.
did with a fire.
Yeah.
that's very true. All right, guys. Well, anyway, that is our allotted time period. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. And again, a big thank you from us at AskAPathfinder and obviously the fantastic and awesome crew at Color Circuit. Be sure to check them out. Show us support because with you guys coming in, checking us out, even during the show and after the show and stuff like that, liking, subscribing and stuff, make sure that we can keep producing stuff like this. So thanks again, guys. And until next time, as always, keep your dice rolling and make sure your ideas stay mindworm free. Have a good one.
You can turn back to Kendra now.
Oh,